code will rock the scene. Podcasting legends living the dream. Metaverse Podcast, the place to be. Rocking out with El Slack and Swally. Every week a new episode. Join us in the Metaverse. Let's hit it explode. Let's hit explode.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, I cut it off. Surprise. I start the
Surprise.
intro manually this time, suckers. So this is
Good.
what you get. I'm taking what is his name? JBL JBL device.
I see what you're doing.
And
I was going to correct you then, but then I tweaked into what you were doing.
and we I'm going to shorten that intro because it is long. It is long. All the intros are long.
What do they call you again?
I
Dislike.
don't know,
Uplander or
unpleasant
Unpleasant
upland.
uplander. That's right.
Yeah,
That was gold.
that was pretty funny. I was listening to that the other day and I was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious.
That's how
So-
memorable you are. 1 week after doing a podcast with you, forgot your name.
Well, he got it right in the beginning of the podcast when he mentioned me, and then at the end, he's like, "What's the guy's name?"
It was late night for him.
Yeah, who knows? Anywho, we got a couple folks in the chat saying, "What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Howdy,
Well,
Happy. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Better now that I can see and hear you.
Yeah, I know I had a little bit of trouble in the very beginning there. I was actually trying to hook up to my computer, and that didn't work.
So
So,
you're gonna learn your lesson.
I had everything set, and it all looked pretty good. But it says that you got to be plugged in. Like StreamYard, I guess says for your best results to have like a direct wired connection.
Yes.
And I just have a laptop. I don't think this thing even has an Ethernet port on it.
It would.
Well, not all of them do, but you can get adapters for it.
Yeah, no, there's no Ethernet port.
Do you have a USB-C adapter on that thing, or USB-C?
do.
They have little USB-C Ethernet adapters you can buy.
Oh, okay.
They work really great. Just saying.
Okay. Well, I don't know. The phone is working just fucking fine.
It is. You look great. You're wearing your Golden State Warriors
Yeah,
hoodie,
they used to be good.
repping the city.
Mushy Farmer 1. Okay.
What?
Level up. Mushy Farmer 1.
Is that
Farmer?
who's Mushy
I'm not-
Farmer
Oh,
One?
it lost me on that one as well. That's why I was confused. Doesn't take much to confuse me though.
Yes, okay.
It doesn't. I mean, you Australians over there get confused all the time.
Oh, we're very simpletons, yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we're not. I do wonder what the result. If you took the average American IQ score versus the Australian average IQ score, I wonder how that would come out. Actually,
Oh, we're dumb. In America, we are dumb. We have a poor education system.
I wonder what it's ranked as far as is Australia ranked better as far as education than America?
if it was questions about
it
the
up.
planet, if it was questions about the planet itself, yeah, I think Americans would lose because you know a lot about your own country and fuck all about the rest of the world. At least that's my understanding of America.
No, those are facts. There's some the average American. I would say the average American
yeah,
doesn't know dick about most other countries.
Yeah. Where I think because we do live in an isolated and relatively small in population size country, we tend to sort of know a little bit more. And obviously we get a lot more TV and movies and shit like that from overseas. So
Right.
yeah, I think we're a little bit more educated about the world than that's my guess. But I mean, at the end of the day, it'd be fucking, you can measure it in B dicks really. It'd be fuck all in between them. So
I actually think you guys rank way higher than we do in education.
I think so too.
Right? It says Australia's number 8.
well, our kids aren't shit scared to go to school here.
World goes.
Yeah, they're not getting shot at when they go to
That's
fucking grade school.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
One kid goes to school with a knife and gets arrested by the cops. That makes fucking front page news. He doesn't do anything with a knife. He just gets arrested.
We have mass shootings, tons of them every year, and only maybe a handful of them get reported on for a day.
Oh, these
Yeah,
days,
it just depends on what's going to feed the fear narrative the most.
Yeah.
Push the anti-gun narrative the most.
Well, we have a new president today, so we'll see what that looks like moving forward.
Yeah, that's like, kind of a
Did
big
you
challenge for us here.
did you listen to that inauguration? I don't want to
No.
get too deep into it, but I just was curious.
I actually, I probably could have, but I decided to clean my house instead. And me and my wife, we went to the beach at sunset tonight. It was really, really nice.
That sounds really sweet.
Yeah, that's nice. We're not too far from the coast, so it's like quick little drive. Got some fried chicken. And do you guys have crispy crunchy chicken up there in Oregon?
Yeah, like at a convenience stores.
Yeah, they got them
Yeah.
like gas stations and whatever. And we did
Yeah.
that. We went to Ranch 99, which is the only place a white person can truly feel racism in America. But do you know what a Ranch 99 is?
No.
It's like an Asian market, and so like
Oh,
they're just extremely rude to Americans in there.
we have a store like that here in Salem. It's called, get this, it's called A Dong Market.
A Dong Market, nice.
Yeah, and you go in there and they just stare you down like you're the enemy. I'm just like, bro, I just want to get some banana leaves and get the fuck out of here.
And you can't ask any questions. I was like, hey, do you guys know where the bread is? And the guy, I don't speak English. Like, okay, sorry. I thought bread was kind of universal, but
No.
no. So yeah, they don't take too kindly. But we got some Chinese food there that was pretty good. And then went and ate that at this little bench at Sunset. There's this place called Thornton Beach that we like to go to. And so yeah, this was a really nice Martin Luther King extra day off today.
Yeah. I mean, being that you are in the Asian mood, how you feeling about Tokyo and all the action going on there?
I mean, I don't know. I have 2 Tokyo structures, the townhouses, and so I ended up drawing 2 of the structure ornaments. So I got them on there, and there's nobody. Well, there's one. I think it's a knight is close to one of my Tokyo structures.
Mm-hmm.
But the way his build is set up, I don't think he can actually move his cannon close enough to me, but I can move my cannon close enough to him to where I'm actually attacking him, but he can't attack me.
That's very
and I think
for you.
Yeah, no, it works out well, and it's got to frustrate him. I mean, we'll see, unless he just hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah. So you're a cyborg?
Yeah. I ended up. Did you guys? I know Swarley. You said you were out, but are you back in or what?
Nope. I've sold everything.
Did you really?
Only reason why I'm still fucking have anything to do with it is because I can't remove it from my overlay. So no, I'm out. So
Yeah.
we can cover that in a minute if you want, but
no, I don't think we need to talk about that at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What about you? Are you participating or?
Yeah. Yep. I stayed true to the faction, and I'm still there doing my thing. I got some structures up, some structure ornaments, and that's looking good for me. Obviously, I don't want to say too much because, I'm sure that there's spies out there.
Exactly.
Looking for information, but
spill the guts. I don't give a fuck.
I know you don't, Warley. That's why we're not going to get into it, you piece of shit. But yeah, so I feel good about it. The team's doing their thing, and that's great. So I'm gonna leave it at that for now. But I would like to just look at some of the leaderboards and just have a real general look at things.
Hang on. I'm trying to decipher this. Swarley has Sparklet Wars tea. I have flavored water, some would call cordial. I don't know.
It's called what?
It's cordial. What do you call it in the States? Flavored water. When you put
But, yeah, just flavored water, juice, maybe.
To keep
I don't
it
know.
real simple, juice, Kool-Aid.
you know, you
I
get that
guess it really
sugary,
depends on what
sugary
flavor.
syrup stuff you put in water to make it. I don't know.
What flavor you got in there?
I think it's apple blackcurrant.
Apple
so-
black currant.
Yeah,
That's-
just gives
that's black.
water, gives the water some flavor.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's not beer flavored tonight.
Not beer flavored. I'm surprised.
Oh, gossip. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So he's saying he thought Americans called gossip tea.
Huh.
I don't have any gossip. Well, what do you mean by gossip? I mean, what exactly are you alluding to, Level? Because all I know is I was going to be all in, and then I decided to be all out, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you
Just
know,
that vodka. Yeah,
as
I
much
would, but
as
I
I
need
would
to
love-
be coherent for the next 2 hours.
I would love, as much as I would love to have that conversation. We've done that, been there, done that. We don't need to rehash that bullshit again. I would love to still be friends, and so let's keep it that way. Because I don't want to.
Say nothing.
I don't want to let this game get in the way of a good time.
Okay.
And if Level Up makes us talk about it, somebody's going to get pissed off.
Who's that? Because it's not going to be me. It's not going to be me.
Oh, well, it won't?
I can tell you. I guarantee you it won't be me.
Well, then I guess it's just me. Anyway, moving on.
I'm just happy I got to participate. You know that I'm even
Yeah.
to play in the game. There's a lot of people that probably missed it or can't or just don't
Well,
want. You know,
Given
and
that there's less than 150 for 2 teams and less for the third one, I would argue that anyone that wants to play can still play.
no, that's true. You know, and it's a little disappointing to see that not even 600 people were interested.
It was never going to be 600 because people were going to buy the passes to hold on to them because they're season points and all the overall collector points bullshit. So it was never ever going to be 200 versus 200 versus 200 because people were going to buy people were going to buy overs and just keep them for nothing more than I've got one of only 10 passes left or some bullshit like that.
Do you think if they made it cheaper, more people would get into it?
I mean, TML said as much from the get-go.
$5 is cheap, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't get much cheaper. And if you made it free, then you have everybody registering and nobody actually participating.
What about
It'd be
just
confusing? Like it's confusing as fuck now because you got someone like me that's registered and I show up as a player, but I'm not playing.
I think
so.
Got a point there. Upix, you know, 25,000 Upix, you know, like as a registration fee. That's not too extreme. I wouldn't say.
Well, let's generally say the conversion rate's around 3 to 1, so I'd say 15,000. But I don't know. Look, $5. I mean, really, if you can't afford $5, what the fuck are you doing playing Upland? So, you know, move on.
Truth.
I thought you were going to get mad.
I'm not mad. I'm just like, who gives a fuck whether you pay $5 a play or not? Like,
I feel like we're on the cusp. We're on the cusp.
I feel like the $5 fee just separates the bullshit from the serious players. So
I agree.
And even then, there's players that will buy them just for collectors' purposes, stuff like that. So it was never, ever going to be 200 versus 200. We knew that from the get go. Players like TML said straight up, "I'm going to buy one of each and keep them," and fair enough too. So there may be more players in the future that might want to get involved, and Upland might up it to 300 for the next season. But there still won't be any. Like they'll probably still only be lucky to get 200 to actually play. So, no, I think it's right. It's good the way it is.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean they'll get feedback. Yep. Exactly right. So, and if people think it's too much or too little, whatever. But I think given how much the passes are selling on the secondary market, I don't think $5 is too much. Better balance on based on Spark. I don't know what you mean by that.
Maybe they're thinking there should be a bigger prize pool.
The prize pool. Well, I said last week I had an issue with the way the prizes were dished out from the get go. And that sort of, I think, is part of the reason why I've decided to step back, because I just don't think this is a team event. It should be the first place person should get the same as the last. It shouldn't. Individual points should not fucking matter. It's a team event. The team's points should be the only thing that fucking matters, and that's the issue I had with it. But anyway,
yeah, I
don't know.
I would love to see,
but everybody still gets to play, right?
yeah, but think about the dynamics, right? If it was just everybody got the same prize, so there's 200,000 sparklets. So if there was 200 players, then you'd all get 1,000 sparklet each. Would the big players or the whales be all that interested in playing? Probably not. So what's that do? Frees it up for all the smaller accounts to get involved and have a bit of fun without the whales fucking it all over and just dominating the situation. That's one way of looking at it. The other way is if a whale does want to get in there and wants to help out other players, because it benefits the team as a whole to do so, like, then they will. But the way it is at the moment, there's no reason for a big player to help a small player. In fact, what we're seeing is the exact opposite happening. We're seeing a fuck ton of small players help big players.
I mean, that's kind of how it always is, though, isn't it?
No.
but
It's a team event. It's a team event.
Like,
It's a team event. The only points that should matter are for the team, and that's it. If it was truly a team event, then so be it. If it's a pay to win, which most of Upland is, then call it a fucking pay to win and not have a team event. But again,
here is the individual battle score leaderboard.
a quick look at this. So correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am. I only looked at it very briefly before we jumped on. I'm assuming that the way structural ornaments and whatever is placed at the moment, if it didn't change at the end of the day or the end of the comp or whatever, that would be the score that would be set in stone. But of course, they haven't taken the snapshot, and then you only get 10% of that for day one and 20% for day two, which would then be added to the official score. But that gives people an indication of like, okay, well, JR Wills has got obviously a fuck ton of ornaments. Well, we better go work out where they are and try and block a few or something like that to bring his score down. Which kind of is irrelevant if overall, what's the team scores look like? Because if the cyborgs are way in front, it really doesn't matter about blocking his score.
So this is interesting because the Pirates and the Crypto Knights number keeps going down, and even the Cyborg number has went down, but the margin is dramatic
because they're going down because people are starting to realize and start placing their ornaments. They're
repositioning
in the right places. And jockeying for position, all that sort of stuff. So, and I think I even said to you probably earlier today that I honestly believe that if the Crypto Knights and the Purge Pirates fully teamed up together, they'd still struggle to beat the Cyborgs with total cooperation between the two, which is near impossible to try and do anyway, even if they wanted to. Even if they had some sort of roundtable meeting and went, right, ceasefire with us two, let's just all focus our attention on on the Cyborgs. I don't think that would be a battle. I think the Cyborgs could hold them off as it stands at the moment. And I hadn't seen that score until just now, and that score sort of backs what I'm saying. Now, obviously, there's a lot to go, long way to go, but they're way in front. So, from a personal point of view, from a personal player's point of view, I think at the moment you could filter out the other teams and just put in the Cyborgs, and you can see that you got at the moment the way it is. So Upland Tara is 1, RD Pfeiffer is 2, and Nerds Logic 3. And then obviously got a few others that are close by. So, and that'll change when superstructures come into play, stuff like that. But that's to watch, because at the moment the other two teams aren't close, and they aren't close. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, which is surprising. I mean, not super surprising, but look at the top score getters at the moment. There's 4 before you get to the Cyborgs, which is interesting. But it just shows by a significant number too. Like the top 2, it's like the top 2, then there's everybody else.
But it just shows the sheer. I mean, we saw it early on in the registration, the sheer number of Cyborgs versus the other two. I think the fact that Shaq's got that chat going and people coordinating and stuff like that. I think it just shows.
Well, this is in real time.
It's not. I think it was like a snapshot, but it was like a, what do you call it? I guess a sneak peek snapshot. Like the way I understand it, and again I could be wrong, but it was basically if the snapshot was right there and then, that's how many points each person would have, and then because it was day one, you'd get 10% of those numbers added to your official score. So it's a kind of like this is how it gives you people an idea of where the strength and weaknesses lie in the team. So now, at least for the other two teams, they know to go after Upland Tara and RD Pfeiffer and Nerds Logic as 1, 2, and 3, because at the moment they're the leaders. Now, whether they can block the currently being built superstructures or not, it's a different story altogether. If they planned it right, which I think they have, I don't think they can do much about it. So they're going to just block as much as they can from the structural ornaments. And that may be in trying to organize trades with people, like buying properties, buying or swapping properties, stuff like that, which is going to be a week long in what's normally a downtime for Upland. It's going to be a week long trade fest. Potentially.
Yeah. I'm curious how
like that. Well, that's pretty much all I've done now, Jimmy. I paid $5 to watch the in-game chat.
I'm curious. It says real time. I'm curious if it actually is. Let's look here. Let's do something.
When has Upland ever done anything in real time?
I'm just gonna see if what they're saying is real. I have 125 points here. I'm gonna go turn off my screen. I'm gonna temporarily remove an ornament and just see if it changes.
You don't need to turn off your screen because we can look on the blockchain and see where it is anyway.
I don't give a fuck. Smart.
It's not like it's a secret. Nothing's hidden in a blockchain game.
Click on like Cypher Cyborgs and see everybody who's like the leader there. Same with Purge Pirates, Crypto Knights. I think they got the leaderboards here. Like, why not? And then they could have that in real time, because these are real time, aren't they? What the leaderboards are supposedly.
I don't know. Like
That's what
the
it
first time I
says.
saw it was just then. I have no clue. I haven't looked into it. I haven't read anything about it. I got nothing.
Yeah, you're done. You're over it. Right?
Well, I put a lot of effort in leading up to it, researching my properties, working out a strategy, and I think I came up with a pretty good one. And I was all set to get up at 3 a.m. each morning because my mindset was, look, we don't know when the snapshot is each day, but if they're starting this at 9 a.m. PT, which is 4 a.m. for me, then chances are the snapshot of each day is going to be roughly the same time every 24 hours. So my theory was if I got up at like 3 a.m., it's probably about an hour, give or take, maybe a couple of hours before the snapshot. So if one of my structures was getting blocked, I could move it to a different property and then go back to bed and hopefully that wasn't getting blocked and I wouldn't lose any points. So, and I had all my properties worked out. I worked out where all the enemies were and I had taken snapshots of them all to see if there was any changes. So if people had been jockeying for position and buying or selling or swapping properties, and I could keep an eye on what was going on. And then I just, at the end I went, no, I've had enough of it. So.
No, I mean, you don't think you'd have been at least in the top 5? Like, you have property and you own quite a few ornaments, right?
I was up to 7 and I was going to buy a whole bunch in the next round. I don't think there's a lot for sale anymore on the market, especially, I mean, you get a wrap over the knuckles if you do it. The Cyborgs won't if you try and sell them publicly anyway. But even in chat, I think most people, acquired the ones that they wanted to acquire, and more. I think more people are just looking to acquire more rather than anyone trying to sell. So round 2, I think, goes on sale 12 hours from now, roughly. So why they waited till after the start of the competition, I don't know why that is. I think they should have done that probably last night or this morning, your time, whatever. So everyone had them before the start of the comp. I don't know. But it might just change up the whole dynamics of the scoring in the first place. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I was up to 7 ornaments myself, and I had 27, 28 properties or something like that. But yeah, no, not to be. Swally for president. I'm in the wrong country to be president. I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't do a better job than Trump. I mean, all I need to do is not lie for a day, and I think I'm ahead of him. But outside of that, I wouldn't know the first thing about running my own fucking household, let alone a country.
Yeah, who wants to be the president, man?
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
You'd have to pay me fuck ton more money than what they're getting paid to do that job.
Yeah, that's something that I really ever want to partake in. No politics for me. I've already been able to do whatever the fuck I want with my life. It doesn't matter who the president is. I can do whatever. It doesn't matter what the laws are either. They can make laws, and guess what? I'll fucking break them. So, I mean, I don't really.
Well, if you're president, you can make the laws that you don't want to break.
Well, right.
Right,
If yourself,
if you cross the road at a pedestrian crossing, you're going to get fined. You must only cross at non-pedestrian crossing dangerous locations. So, yeah.
Have you ever known anybody that's actually gotten in trouble for jaywalking?
Not personally. Being a cop for 20 years, I have heard of stories. And usually, the only time that a fine, as what I understand, the only time that fine becomes an issue is if somebody that was jaywalking has caused an accident. They're the one at fault, so therefore they're the ones that get the fine rather than the driver, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean,
so typically the cops aren't like, "Oh, fuck you, you fucking jaywalked. You could have crossed over there, so I'm going to give you a ticket." They're not really after that. It's more like there's a law that says you can't do it. So if you cause a problem by doing it, well, then, you're liable, so to speak. So I think that's the main reason why those sort of things exist. It's like I don't know what it's like in the States, but in Australia, most states have the law that you must wear a helmet when riding a push bike. 99% of cops, I would say, pretty much personally don't care. I mean, if it's a push bike or a cycle, what do you want to call them? I'd say, whilst you don't want to see a kid, splat on the road with their head, cracked open, all that sort of stuff. At the end of the day, it's their own. They're not harming anybody else by not wearing a helmet, so it's only them that they're harming. But if you see a cop talking to a kid that's on a push bike, chances are it's more just tag and release type situation where they're just identifying who the kids are, because most of the crime these days in most, especially towns, are caused by kids, trying to break into cars or just flogging your shit while you're at work or something. So it's a lot of the time it's just intel gathering, and that's a reason to stop and detain someone because they're committing an offence. So it doesn't mean they won't give them a ticket, but it's not really what they're out there to do. They're not trying to, lock every kid up for not wearing a helmet. It's just a means to an end rather than... Anyway, we're way off topic here.
Off topic is the topic, Swarley.
So
this is the neutral zone. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
I actually got pulled over for running a red light on my bike one time.
Push bike?
Good for you. Yeah, you should be.
No, like a regular, a push bike. Yeah, regular bike.
Yeah. Yeah, they're subject to the road rules.
Well, and the cop was like right there. I was driving up. It was actually in Lake Tahoe, and I was driving up Lake Tahoe Boulevard. And there was a cop waiting at the light, and I just blew the light because there was nobody coming, and it was basically right about to turn green. He wanted to be an asshole and pulled me over. I mean, I've had
who's the asshole? You're the one that ran the red light, you dildo.
There's every town's got one of them.
There was really no reason to freaking stop, man. There was no cars coming. The light was about to turn green. Basically, I pulled ahead of him. And as I pulled ahead of him, the light turned green, and he just wanted to fuck with me. One time, I almost got a.
You probably thought you had weight on you,
but oh well, yeah. Generally, I've had, I've had a lot of run-ins with the cops. I've been detained more than on one occasion.
I'm not surprised.
I was a drug dealer for like the first part of my life, man. I was on the other side of the fence for a really long time, which is funny because you guys are both in law enforcement, basically.
Well,
You're like,
at least one of us.
Well,
I try to get kids out of jail all the time. I try to rehabilitate them and send them on their way as better human beings.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, you know, man. I don't see how. For me, I just don't see how the corrections facility, like, it just doesn't seem like it's meant to really rehabilitate people.
Oh, fuck
Like,
no. Prison
I don't
is
know.
not meant to rehabilitate anybody.
No,
Prison is a
no, it's-
business. 100%. It's a money-making business. And they are there.
Yeah,
Their
man.
main interest is getting money. Now, to get money, and I won't go too far into this because I could get on this real heavy soapbox, but you get money by promoting rehabilitation and getting grants and getting federal funding and all this other shit that sounds really good and looks really good. But at the end of the day, you have policies and practices in place that continue the cycle of incarceration for these young people and adults, especially adults. It's a revolving door, and it's meant to be a revolving door. You don't see nearly the amount of effort put into rehabilitation for adults as you do as youth and young people. And we still see an outrageous recidivism rate. So it's a money-making scheme with a happy face facade.
Yeah, no, man. It's, I don't know. You know, like, it really shouldn't be illegal, and that's where you end up with a lot of overpopulation in prison. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, certainly it doesn't work where, obviously, like in Oregon, they've proven that just decriminalizing drugs doesn't work, right? Like, you end up with way worse shit if you decriminalize drugs. But if you actually legalized it and there was FDA approval and there was regulation on the drugs, you know, then, and there was designated places for people to do the drugs, you'd probably have a lot less people doing it because it was right on the fucking street, you know, and you would basically be cutting the cartels out. I mean, but then you're just opening the door more for big pharma. And we're way off fucking topic from Upland now.
Yeah, which is why I pretty much backed away from the conversation.
I'm like, enough on this. This is like the most political the Neutral Zone's ever been, isn't it?
I know, yeah. We're starting to pick a side here, it feels like, and it's not gonna be so neutral. Happy, your mic is all kinds of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
It's in and out.
Is it?
Yeah, like you're really quiet most of the time, and then sometimes you come in real nice and loud and clear.
Hold on.
And then all the rest of the time you suck. Give it a good hawk tua.
Yeah, that'll work.
I mean, that does sound better.
Oh, is this better?
It is better.
All right, good. This
For
is
now.
just my street. I'll just take the earpiece out. Yeah, let's see how long it works.
Yeah, it's good at the minute.
Yeah, it sounds fine now. At least it's consistent.
Excellent.
Yeah. We got to get
All
you
right.
some real proper shit here.
You know, I was actually looking on Amazon yesterday, and I was looking at, like, you know, starter YouTuber kit. Do you think, because, like, would you just get a webcam or do you guys just use your phones? Like right now, I'm just using my phone.
I have a webcam here.
Yeah, same.
I got
Doesn't need
a
to be a good one.
microphone here.
Microphone can make all the difference with your sound, but I've just got my headset for my mic.
Yeah, and Swirly sounds great. You get a decent headset, you're in business.
Yeah, maybe that's all I need to do is get a decent headset. But you guys are you more on, like, home computer setups, or you're on a laptop?
I think we're both on laptops.
No, I'm on a PC.
Oh, you're on a PC. Okay, I'm on a laptop. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you're also plugged in to Ethernet, yeah?
No, my bitch ass says Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Because my router's on the other end of the house.
I was Wi-Fi last week, and obviously I had a few dramas, so I've switched over to Ethernet. So I've now got a cable that runs from my router into my little room here, which means it sort of runs through the unit, which is a bit annoying. But if the stream goes a bit better and I don't drop in or out or freeze or anything, it might be worth it. So
Yeah, I've been considering running Ethernet underneath my house, or because my house is elevated, I can get underneath my house really easily, and just run an Ethernet and boring a hole through the floor. But I haven't done it yet. Probably gonna happen at some point.
All right, so getting us back onto Upland, if that's all right.
How dare you?
I mean, other than wards, and I'm actually going through just looking at the map now and just looking at all the different circles that pop up everywhere. They're not very big, are they? The range of stuff that can attack.
No.
Like
Japan's awfully big for.
It's cool that you can see it, but I'm looking at it and I can see structural ornaments look like they have a circle themselves. Do they?
They do.
So I'm assuming you just have to get within that range of the structural ornament circle to attack that building. So if they overlap, then you're attacking or whatever. But I mean, it's cool that it shows that. But I'm just looking at like some of the circles here, and I mean, they're not huge. So those big properties, yeah, I mean, they're obviously a huge advantage when they're more than the circle in size themselves.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
So
anyway, where did you guys go to Paris? Did you do any of the Paris expansion release?
Yeah.
How
you mean originally? Oh, originally you mean? Or
no. With the most recent expansion.
Yeah. Sorry, like last week you mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I went there and grabbed a couple. Yeah. What did I try and do? There was a particular street I targeted. I don't know if it worked out for me because we still don't know. We can find out this week, do we? The collections?
Yeah, on our Thursday, your Friday.
So when I'm asleep, no, but I'm looking at the fucking wrong part of the map. I'm just trying to see. I found a street that was speculated to potentially be collection, and either the suburb above and below were both also speculated. So, fuck it, I'll just mint what I can there.
What street is that?
I'm trying to find it now. It's probably just easier if I share.
Let's test it. Let's find out. Let's see how well it works.
Exactly. Let's fucking push the boundaries. Present, share screen, entire screen. Done. All right, so looking at the expansion of Paris, so it's in the southern bit down here. So it's in between these two suburbs. So I'm not going to try and pronounce this stuff. I'm just going to butcher it. So I'm just going to go that one and this one.
You should try it. I think that sounds like a good time.
So in one of my past properties, the what do you call it? The fucking bundles of one property. I got this one.
Lalande.
So I got this one in my bundle of one. So I use that as my benchmark on my launch pad. And then I just try to send it down this way, as you can see. So I just try to pick up as many as I could on this street.
It's this street. The Rui
Yeah, the whatever. So I picked up, I think I got 4 on that street. Man. Yeah, I'm not going to try and read it.
I'll butcher this for fun.
I'd like to not insult more people. If that's all right.
Oh, please. Like, you've had any issue with that today whatsoever.
And the French have no problem in other people.
You're trying to fucking
French.
Frame me for something here.
I'm not doing a damn thing, Swarley.
So I think this neighborhood was suspect of maybe being a purple collection. I mean, again, we can suspect what we want.
What's the neighborhood called?
This one.
Petite Montrogue.
So, but I think more speculated was this. I think this one was more speculated, this neighborhood. And then
Montparnasse?
I know this neighborhood, Bercy.
Bercy.
That went really fast. So I was able to get one and only one.
I got
really quickly.
There.
I didn't get anything over there. I didn't actually show up. I didn't go and show up on the day that it launched. I just went actually yesterday and just minted whatever I found.
Still about. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So this one I think was, a nice big property would be nice. Yeah. So I managed to get one there, and I know Laban was talking a lot about Bel Air, and that caught my interest when I first saw Bel Air on the list. I'm like, oh, Bel Air, obviously from LA. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
Bel Air, that might be interesting, but I never saw it pop up anywhere, any sort of research or anyone talking about it until the band started talking about it. So he started giving me FOMO, but I resisted. So I don't own. I already. This was one of my past property. Sorry, not past. What do you call it? The bundles. The bundle of one
Bundle?
property bundle. So that was and since you only get a 15% chance of it being a collection, that suggests to me it ain't going to be a collection. But that's just me. I said that last time and it was so in what do you call it, Park City. So
It's true. You don't know
not
until
not the past property, the
No.
bundle property that I got before the release. It was in that really big neighborhood up north that turned out to be, I think, a purple collection. So that's my so I did probably better in the expansion than I did on the original, because in the original release I targeted Notre Dame. I only got 2 in the end, which I still thought was good, because I thought there was a good chance of that being maybe a rare, if not an ultra rare. It turned out to be nothing. Go figure. It's not very famous or anything, and it's not, it's huge and all that. And then after that, I only, in the original release, I just went up to the hospital up here and bought 2 properties for showrooms, which now I probably don't need. So if they do, although they did say Q4 was going to be the introduction of, being able to have your stuff delivered to your address in the same city. Haven't seen any updates on that. So is it coming? I don't know. Maybe one day, eventually, maybe, possibly. Take it. Buellerman's fucking late on that, but
maybe, possibly.
So that's my expansion story, and I didn't bother going. I think 4 o'clock this morning was the locked properties release or something like that. There was a few there that was still might have been collections that people hadn't picked up, but I was like, you know what? I've gotten up at 4 a.m. probably 5 of the last 6 or 7 days. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not getting up again. And I've been battling a toothache all week anyway, so I was like, fuck it. I had the best night's sleep I've had in a week last night. I'm not getting up for another uplanding.
Nice. Yeah, I got like I said, I didn't go on the release day, but I did show up and I was there this morning. I got a couple properties, and then I didn't have any. I ended up selling them all a while ago, but I think now I got like 6 or something. I just minted what I could and left.
What'd you pick up, Happy?
So I don't know what those are going to turn into.
I got quite a few. I think I got like 12 properties.
You went nuts.
Oh, a little bit. I got 3 Bercy, and then I got 4 of the Salpeterier.
I say that you went nuts. Then I was just counting mine. I'm like, actually, I think I got 20. So I guess.
Yeah, I didn't really go that nuts. I only had like I think I had like 500,000 UPIX, and I don't like buying small properties. I always buy stuff that's like 40K plus generally.
Yeah, that was the problem. Actually, I guess I come accustomed to these overpriced huge properties, and when I was clicking on and buying stuff for like 5, 8, 10,000, I'm like, this is not going to do much to my yield, even if it is a collection. I was like,
right.
It was a little. I mean, it's still cool to add another collection to your collections, but I was like, I like getting 100,000 UPIX properties to my collection, not 10,000 UPIX properties. Like, I don't know, first world problem, I guess. So,
well, yeah, but I mean, like. But the way I see it is, if I'm going to get a boost, I want it to be on something big, and that's just the resale value. If you are going to sell for USD, I mean, you're going to get a lot more money. You're going to get $10.
For the if you pick up 10,000 properties, you'll get more for it than 100,000. But that's what I like the old city releases when they used to do the collection reveal the week after and they reprice them and you go in and buy them. I was cool with that. I was more than cool with that.
Yeah, no, because like look at Ben. He picked up that rare property that was like 5 million UPIX or something. I mean, that gives him the yield of almost a 15 million UPIX property at that point. I mean, that is huge.
So I mean, I can see why Upland have gone away from it. And I said that when they first started doing the release or the collection reveals the way they are. Like, for a personal point of view, I fucking hate the way they do it now. But from a game point of view and the speculation and dragging it out and stuff like that, probably is good for the game. That, you know, people, and there's much bigger whales out there than I, don't just come along and scoop up all the collections, you know, at a higher price. Because once they reprice them, they become out of reach. And you can just look at is it Southgrove in Miami that's still got a whole bunch of exclusives available, just out of reach of the vast majority of people that can or that are playing, and those that can afford it already have it. So there's just so many unminted exclusive properties in Miami. It's like, well, I guess that's what they're trying to avoid for future, which kind of works. I personally hate it, but for the game of Upland, it's probably good. So let's go.
Well, and it's also good if you want to buy them in USD, you know, because those are probably some of the expensive or like the lowest markup exclusive properties you're going to find. Right?
You can pick them up probably under 30%. So exclusive for under 30%. Like if you're starting out and want to put some money into the game, picking up Miami exclusive is probably the first purchase that you should do. It'll cost you a few $100 to get all three and have a collection, but it is money well spent if you can pick them up under 30%, and then you're getting double the rewards. So you're effectively getting like a 6x on your money by picking up that collection, and it's nuts. If you're willing to spend USD on this game, it's nuts if you don't go out and get that collection. Guys, go and buy airplanes instead. No,
there's no utility for an airplane at this point.
I'm just gonna say no. Like, we've barely got utility for vehicles. Like,
Kurt, here's the deal: you go buy an airplane, report back, tell me how it's going, and then if it's going well, you may be able to make an argument to convince me to want to go buy an airplane.
All right, if I could buy a car, if they bring in like automatic, what do you call it, movement for UGC items and stuff like that, map assets and whatever, and you've then got to fly them from one location to another, and you can pay someone else to do it, or you can have your own airplane and fly them around, and it's all automated. You can just click, 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 send, done, and don't have to do it one by one and fucking whatever it is. And I need a plane, and that will speed up the process. Then I very well might buy a plane. Anything short of that, go get fucked.
Yeah, no, I with anything that's brand new into Upland anymore, I am taking a very backseat approach, and just everybody else can go ahead and play those games, and I will see how it turns out later.
Let the market level out, and then buy in.
Yeah, well, and
what are you doing with your plane there? Like, what do you got going on? Like, if you're gonna buy a second one, first of all, why? Second
what do you
of
do
all,
with the
what
first
are you
one?
doing with it to begin with?
And this is the point. Oh, hang on, I clicked on the wrong one because he put another one in. I'm impatient. This is my point as to why buy a plane. Like, you already have a car that takes the same route as a plane, straight line over water. So a plane's just a faster car. Like, that's effectively all it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could. I'm surprised that they won't let them travel with them, because it's almost like bullshit. You can't just draw your little dotted line across to the next town for the fucking plane. Like, you can do it with our cars. Like,
you need somewhere to land.
You got to land at the private airports or something, don't you?
Well, they got the private airports out there.
They just haven't. But they've been busy creating Spark Wars, okay? That's why we don't have things like search functions in collections and stuff, because they're busy creating Spark Wars.
I mean, Spark Wars is, you know what? It's the first time we've had anything that's actually
that's exciting. Yeah, so, people are buzzing, so
it's good.
Let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes. See if it gets bigger and better the second time round.
That'll be the only get better from here.
Can it?
I believe so. Yeah.
You know, it's got to get better from here, man. Because this is a great base layer to start, but there's a lot more that could be worked out, and they could make it so that, you know,
I make this way more dynamic. They could
needs to be tiered, and it needs to be, you know what sucks about when they tier it though is being an executive. You have more competition than anybody else, and a guy can be 99,999,000 million, whatever, and still be a fucking executive. Like, there needs to be a 50 million level. Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, just for competition purposes, and so that it would make things fair. because
Yeah.
I mean, if they tiered it and you just had chief executives going against each other and then the chairman or whatever, and then had it as a team, I mean, I think that would be a better way to do it.
Yeah. Look, whilst there's a team, like I said it earlier, and I'll say it every time, while there's a personal reward for finishing higher yourself, you're never going to get true team cooperation. End of story.
Yeah, I think it should be. I agree with you there. We've talked about some stuff, and that is one thing I do now agree with you with. I do think that there should be a team pool, and it should be split equally amongst the team.
Regardless of, because what my point is, like, you just say you have a bunch of cannons and a bunch of carts. You're Wolf Warner, you got 2 carts. Fucking awesome on you, mate. I watched your stream the other day of the ninjas. Fucking, you are a top bloke. You really should be on camera a lot more.
He's a
way
cool
more,
man.
way more interesting than most of. Like,
For real.
he's 10 times more interesting to watch than I am. I can tell you that for a fact.
You watch your mouth,
but,
Swarley.
I didn't say you. I said me.
No, I know.
Relax.
I said you watch your mouth.
But okay, let's say he's got half a dozen cannons and the 2 carts, and he's nullifying, let's say, best part of 1,000 points from the enemy over the week, or even more probably. What's he get for that?
Right, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Everybody...
He helps the team. Don't get me wrong. He's done a lot for the team and has helped the team a fuck ton. But what does he personally get for that? What sparklet does he get for that as a reward? Because let's face it, the more points you get, the more sparklet you get. What does he get for that? Nothing. And that was my point last week. And it hasn't changed. And if anything, I think all it's done is divide the haves to the have-nots. And yeah, and whilst it's not a true team event, then if it's a pay to win, fine, just call it a pay to win and take away the teams and just have everyone go hell for leather or something. I don't know, but
I mean, at this point, it would cost a lot to, because what's the number 1 player at? They're at like 900 something points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but that's not. Oh, that's only like 10. If you've got like 10, like I did some math on this. I've got it open here. I won't share. I'll just
I mean, if you had 10 townhouses, that's 500 points, right? Because they're 50 points each. And then, I mean, that's already kind of crazy considering.
All right, so
built those in a short period of time.
So my calculations were that if I had an apartment building, if it scored maximum for the entire week, it would score a total of 227 points. So to score 900 points is only 5, or less than 5 or 4, and maybe a couple of 4. So in that sense, if I had all my 7 ornaments in game now, 4 of those were apartments, and I had 3 micros. Well, I can do the maths on that. I would be looking at a grand total.
Like 370?
1,918 points for the week. Now, I know to take that out because that included a superstructure, which I was not authorized to build. 1,202 points. So without a superstructure, with just the ornaments that I already had prior to going, I'm not going to be a part of this, I would have had 1,202 points, assuming that none of those points got blocked, because players can move stuff around and then block the points, and that score could come down. But that was my ceiling, the top that I could get with what I already owned, and I still had. I had 27 properties. Every single one of those had at least in fact, I even knocked down a townhouse and 2 small townhouses to put micros on them so they could participate in the week's war. So potentially, I could be right up there. But what will separate the boys from the men and women from the ladies, I don't know, girls from the ladies, is the supers when they do come online and start, and that, because none of those scores reflect how many supers are going to pop up in game all of a sudden, and that will dramatically. So on day 4, when they hit the scoreboard, that's going to start dramatically changing those scores. So it's
I mean, what, there's one or 2 players is going to have 2, maybe.
Well, I can tell you now. There's a sideboard. There's one sideboard player that has 16 up under construction. Now, I'm not part of the circle. I don't know anything about what's going on. I would assume that the vast majority of those 16 are probably just dummy ones to try and confuse the opponent, which, let's face it, you click on it, you can look at it yourself and see
Right. They're
see
actually
how much sparklets is being staked there, and you go, all right, well, don't need to worry about that one because it's going to take 16 years to get built. So you don't need to actually worry about that one. So it's not rocket science to work out which ones you need to worry about. But you do have to then obviously click on them one by one to figure it out, I guess. So it may slow them down 5 minutes. But when the teams work together, one player could end up with 4 or 5. Like, it's not impossible. I could have done 2 on my own with my sparklet balance.
And yet you didn't. So let's move on.
So,
why don't you just do them? Like,
because
what's holding you back?
Because it would have cost me hundreds of thousands of. I estimated for me to do it would have cost me probably about 300,000 UpX to do those 2. And what do I get for it?
Well, you might get, if you're in the top 3 or 5, right? You get something.
But I'm not. I won't be.
You wouldn't be,
because I'm an individual working against a group.
Yeah, but you also well, not necessarily. Like, if you consider if you were able to build 2 of them, there's 500, right? Like, and then what? That's per day. So if you were to have them for 3,
I wouldn't. The second one wouldn't get built to the last day. So I'd have, at best case scenario, I could have 1 built straight away, and it would total 715 points on its own if you could build that almost instantly. Which, and let's face it, and part of the calculations had the Spark Exchange in there. It's still not up, so I couldn't even spark it up. So I'd be relying on other people to help me get from the 300 odd thousand UpX that I have to the 500,000 to get it built as quick as possible. And then once that's built, then you need to start the other ones straight away. And I was going to rely on the Spark Exchange and pay upwards of 300,000 Sparklet to UpX to get that done.
Yeah, okay.
For what reward? Okay, so I finish. If I thought I could finish top 3, maybe I would have spent that money. But if I can't, why throw good money after bad money?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what's the point?
I did the calculations and just went. For me personally, I mean, it wasn't worth it. So, anyway, enough on that.
But I mean, like, at that point, you're almost saying it's not worth it for basically 145 players.
Yes, that's what I said last week.
Like, isn't that basically what you're saying? Like, it's really only worth it for 5 people, and everybody else is going to get,
No, because they'll get because I mean, you can finish and you'll get slightly more spark. No, but okay, but 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 spark might be a lot for someone that doesn't have a lot of spark. So if I don't mean to be rude, but if Elslak got 3,000 spark, I'm assuming he's not, going, whatever. I'm assuming he's going like, cool, sweet, I've now got 20,000 or whatever. For me, 3,000, when I already have 350,000, 3,000 more spark isn't really that much. In fact, I'd probably buy that this week sometime. So I wasn't in it for the spark, if that makes sense. Like, if I was to play, it was to be part of the team, but also have a shot at the top 3.
I mean, were there players that had more spark than you that were participating?
There are 20 odd players. There is 20 odd players in the game that have more spark than me. Any in the Cyborg team that have more spark than me? I don't know. I mean, I heard that Dizzy was supposed to be part of the Cyborgs. I know he's got more spark, but then he can be on the sidelines helping out without being a Cyborg. I don't know how out of the 20 odd players that have more spark than me, but again, that's irrelevant because even if you don't have more spark, you might have more UpX. Someone like a TML can easily go and rent as much Sparklet probably as he wants, assuming Spark Exchanges work. And then, even then, you don't really need that with someone with his connections and stuff, and can go to somebody, maybe not Big A, but someone else that has a lot of spark and go, look, I'll give you, 500,000 Sparklet to build this for me. Sorry, 500,000 UpX to build this for me for a week. Like, he could do that with, you don't need to have the Sparklet to build them. You can do it with UpX if you're willing to rent it. So it's not unfeasible to think that a big player could build 4 or 5 in a week.
Yeah, I mean, if you have that much Sparklet.
Well, you don't need it. I mean, apparently you only need 10 sparklet to start a build. So you could rent.
Really? But wait. So what is the actual max stake on these things?
500,000.
So
So
500,000 sparklet is the max stake.
500,000 is the max stake, and it'll get it built in 3.4 days from reading the article. So in theory, with say like my 300,000, if I was able to rent or borrow or be loaned the other 150 odd that I would need, then I could do 2 in the week. But the second one would only earn points on the last day. Where if you can afford to rent them all from day one, you could have them all built. So you could have 5 built by the end of the 4th day. And then be having all of them scoring 700 and something points. So it doesn't necessarily come down to sparklet. It comes down to
who's got the money and the connection, basically,
and the connections. So that's where the Cyborgs are doing pretty well. Is they've got a lot of people working together to build X amount of supers in the right locations.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun to see how it all kind of plays out, and if there's any more drama that kind of ensues from it.
More drama? Are you referring to me again?
Well, not necessarily you. I mean, there's going to be other people that are going to be bitter, and say like you're saying, what if the Pirates and the Knights did decide that they wanted to try to, work together? In the end, only one faction can win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you would have, people that would be butthurt probably on that, or who knows? I mean, you never know or what could unfold.
I mean, early scoring shows that if the Knights and the Pirates don't somehow try and team up together, then they may as well stop trying.
No.
Whilst they might have some individual scoring that's going really well, it's all irrelevant if the team itself can't get over the line. Now, the Cyborgs have got, at this early stage, early predictions, whatever you want to call it, the team already looks like they're going to coast in comfortably. And now, obviously, a lot can change between now and then. Again, there could be TML. TML is a pirate from memory, so he might end up having 10 supers built somewhere. Who knows what's going on? So obviously things can change dramatically, but the way it stands at the moment, Cyborgs will cruise it in, and then it's just a battle of the Cyborgs as to who's going to finish at whatever rank they finish in, and the higher you finish, the more sparklet you get. So
I want them to bring back totems.
Yeah, I want to feed my little tote, bro.
There was less drama with that, wasn't there?
It seems that way.
Have fun and fuck up and whatever. I like totems. Those are one of my favorite things Upland's done.
I like totems too.
I disagree. They're not my favorite thing.
What is your favorite thing? Hold on, Swarler, what's your favorite thing about Upland?
It was treasure hunting, and then they took it away from me.
You know what?
What is your favorite thing about Upland? Please tell me.
I just said
treasure
hunting.
Please tell somebody.
Treasure
hunting. What do you like about Upland?
Treasure hunting.
Do you treasure hunt at all anymore?
Not anymore.
I
might do the odd free one here. Like this season, we had the challenge to do 5. So I think most days I did my free one. And then I did a little bit of treasure hunting in LA for that, which you got an entry for every send that you did for that landmark.
Oh yeah.
So I did, I think, like 150 sends over the 3 days. So just because I could, really. But outside of that, not really. I mean, LA is like the last city in Upland that I would treasure hunt in if I had a choice.
You still have a decent web there?
No, I've never treasure hunted. But my webs were Queens and Washington. So, and they're slowly, very slowly, but nevertheless slowly diminishing as I sell probably 1 or 2 properties a day, maybe. Probably on average a property a day. I mean, my Queens web was up to 1,800 properties at one point on its own. So just Queens had 1,800 properties. So, and I think that's down to...
That's crazy, man.
And I think it's down to
like 8K properties.
They'll mostly like... Because basically I was at the point where I was just buying... I had the initial web, and then I was just... Whenever I saw a $3 property that was in a good location, I'd just buy it. So some of them weren't even like, because they were like 3,000 mint properties, so probably overpriced. But you can't go below $3. So I'm like, but the value for me being able to, and that's how I was able to. I mean, I used to limit my treasure hunting I used to have a goal of 80 a day to do the 80, and then I got to the point where I could easily smash that. And then it was just to the point where I do my 80, and then after that, I just wouldn't worry. I'd do some more. I wouldn't. I could easily have done 150 plus hunts a day. I just didn't want to spend that much time. But you think about it, the better the web you have. I mean, you can almost treasure hunt for free. In some of these smaller cities, you've got a property in every single block. You'd never need to use a cent.
Yeah, no, I use basically in like the Bronx. I only have 500 some odd properties, and because Bronx is a little bit
way smaller. Bronx is like a quarter of the size of the coin.
Yeah, no, it's like it's the easiest. I hardly ever use.
The problem for me is I landed in Queens, so I started the game shortly after Queens was released. So it was still fresh. The collections had been announced, so that was an issue for me. I didn't get any collections off the bat. So all the collections I do have in Queens, I've had to buy secondary, etc. So that was hard. And then you had all the nodes established as well, so they were already bought out. So to try and get properties in like not Tosshead. Yeah, it was Tosshead. Tosshead had a node. Then you had like the beach one, Howard's Beach. Creedmoor wasn't really going strong at that stage, so I had a crap load of Creedmoor properties, which I sold once they started getting going when I stopped treasure hunting. So they all went pretty quick. I wasn't trying to rip people off. I was just putting them at a fair market value. Turned out I could have probably put 10x on what I was selling them for and sold them at some point anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to try and gouge people. No, well, I'm not here to try and gouge. Like, I don't mind. I made a profit on them. I used them for treasure hunting, and I ended up with 60 Spark prior to the TGE, and then I sold them for at least what I bought them for, if not probably more than what I bought them for. So to me, I'm winning. Like, so what's there to be upset about?
Yeah, you're right.
So, it's like if Sparklet got to $3 and I sold, walked away with $1 million, would I be upset? Watch it go to $5?
I would fucking hope so. You would be upset.
I would if Sparklet went to $3 and I sold.
Mad at you for not fucking selling if that happened, man.
No, I'm saying if I sold at $3 and then watched it go all the way up to $5 and go, well, I could have had another $1 million. Like, would I be upset? Fuck no. I've just fucking made $1 million. Why would I be pissed off?
Yeah, no. At that point, you can't be mad. Taking profit, coming out on top, you can't be mad.
Yeah. So, and that's pretty much how I look at Creedmoor. Is like I had 15, 20 properties, probably more. I sold 3 of them to you for like $6. I could have sold them for $10 each or something. Was it $6 or was it less than that? I don't know, $5 or $6.
Yeah, it was like,
which is still above the average for a normal for a normal Queens property, but because it was
you were very generous to me when you did that. Yeah.
So,
did you say 3 properties for $6?
No, each.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't anything special. That would have been like that would have been like close to 100% mint, give or take a little bit. That would have been close to 100% mint. Which
I got that homie hookup.
Which in general upland terms is probably 4 times what they should be worth, but it was Creedmoor, and it was at the start of the Creedmoor push. So he got in there just as it sort of started, and it was long before Dizzy went in there and bought 100 properties in a day.
Someday that maybe one of us will be
buying
100 properties.
That is now
the only thing that
purple collection though too.
You don't buy anymore.
Tell me, so what was that?
I said, so Sparley, the only thing that you like in Upland, you don't like anymore.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
they nerfed treasure hunting like so much for that year that it made it hard, especially I think for new players. I think it's too hard now, especially for new players.
If you have a decent web, I think you could still.
But think about a new player coming in and going, I can fucking grind and get some spark. What do I need to do? Oh, I need to buy 1,000 properties that are fucking like, and then the way the arrows are now, it's just too hard, I think, for a new player to learn how to hunt effectively.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I think if you did it, like,
don't get me wrong,
right now, Bronx, $3. Your floor is $3 in Bronx. You have a floor of like 10K, between 9 and 10K UPX. I mean, it's probably
Honestly,
one.
I said at the time, I know South Lake Tahoe is a tier 4, but it's probably one of the better cities to go and learn to treasure hunting because it's so fucking tiny. But if you want a tier 2, Miami Beach. I mean, it's a lot more expensive, but it's so small. So, and I think Lightning Leg has got his channel, like his YouTube channel going, that's doing a lot of treasure hunting content on his page and stuff like that. And he's done that. He's gone and set up a web in, I think he's only got about 50, 60 properties in Miami Beach, but that's all you need because it's not huge. And I think half of those are on the dong.
Speaking of Miami Beach, has Schlong Island Racetrack been approved yet?
I haven't reached out. I need to go. Hang on, give me a second. I'll tell you the date that I submitted the application.
I just look. I got a thing. I need that track done.
All right.
Sir.
So the Speedway application was submitted on the 12th of November. So you need to wait 3 months before you even pester them going, what the fuck's going on? Because they'll reply to you, you need to wait 12 weeks. Trust me, I've done it. I know. I've received that email.
How many weeks has it been?
Well, it's barely been 8 weeks. So we've got another month basically to wait before we go, what the fuck, man? At which point they'll go, okay, you can now build the structure. You got to wait 12 weeks, then pester them. They will then go, okay, here's your structure. Then you got to build that, which takes a week or two to do, depending on how much, because you can put 100 sparkle on it, I think. Which is crazy. I don't know how they figure these things out at times. And then once you've finished building that, then you got to wait 2 weeks and then pester them again, going, well, it's done. Like, what's going on? And then they'll actually activate it. So nothing about it is streamlined. But having said that, things in other areas are becoming much simpler and easier to work with. So maybe one day we'll have a simpler, more streamlined. I don't know. I mean,
what's being more simple? This is not good English.
All right.
What's being more simpler and streamlined?
UGC submissions have improved significantly, and whether that's a short term or long term, I don't know whether there's been less submissions or they've just gotten better at doing it. But I know Ben 68 stuff that I built for him before Christmas was submitted and approved like in a week. And I did say to him things have been going a lot quicker lately, and I don't think he believed me. And then he tried to do a placeholder, where you want to put some UPX aside where you don't spend it accidentally. So he wanted to put an offer on one of my properties where I didn't accept it. So, all the UPX disappeared from his account, but it was still there. And when it got approved, then he was going to pay me the fee in UPX. And then literally the day after he sent that message, and I went, yeah, no, let's just use this property. The next day it was approved. It was like, holy fuck, I didn't think it was going to be anywhere near that quick. So there's improvement coming from Upland from different places from time to time. Whether it stays there. I mean, we all know that applying for a shop is a lot easier now than it used to be a couple of years ago.
Oh,
so UGC looks like it's starting to get a little bit better in terms of the application process, not the moving map assets around process. Like that is what we really want. That's what we really want to see improved, but it hasn't happened. But it's pretty unanimous across the UGC that that's what I don't think even players themselves want easier way. I mean, if you're buying a bunch of fences, let's say your prison fences, like to be able to buy 10 and move them all at once to a property and then just shuffle them around. Surely you want that rather than one and come back and the second one and come back and so forth. So I think that's what we want. But the other thing they really need to do, and I don't know how hard it is for them to do, but they really need to pull their finger out and do it, is sell a property with map assets on it.
Yeah.
So you can deck out your property with fences and pretty it all up. And those 3 winning properties in Tokyo is a classic example. Like, imagine the nightmare of selling that and then having to sell each and every single item that's on that property at the same time to a new person who then needs. So you got to move them all off there, sell it, and then sell all those items, and then move them all back on there again to maintain the little eye thingy, or you just don't sell it.
I have somebody offer me my Tokyo property that has all that stuff on there that I got in the top 25 for, and I just denied it because I'm like I don't want to deal with removing. It was a good
Moving,
offer.
exactly right.
I just don't want to move all the shit off of it
Yeah.
and not because I want to keep it there. I just don't want to go through the hassle of finding a
Exactly
new place
right.
to put it on and then move it one by one by one. I just don't want to deal with it. So I
But
said,
like,
fuck it, I'm gonna
my
leave
wife
it.
has got the fencing business, so she's got all these fences up that she wants to sell. Nobody wants to buy them because they don't want to fuck around moving them all, and then you got to move them again if you want to sell that property or you want to do anything with it. So it's just a red flag. Map assets, lots of map assets on a property that you may want to sell one day is a red flag, and they need to fix that. So like like our speedway, like they've got the track fences on there. Should be able to just sell them with the track fences on there.
Mm-hmm.
So the new owner just picks them up and just goes, sweet, I'm already
It
set.
appreciates the property.
So, and you can factor that in there. If it comes like when you sell a property and it's listed and you can see what's on there, it should be like just a warning. You are aware that it's got 10 fucking map assets on there. Yep. All right. Done. I don't know coding. I don't know what the background fucking issues are with it. I know.
I bet it's a nightmare of an issue.
Well, Apex Land have been able to do bundle sales, so not with a property, but with map assets or structural ornaments or something, you can do bundle sales there. So why? I mean, surely it's just a matter of programming. Now, I'm not saying it's a 5-minute job, but to me, that's more important than creating a wall for a week. But I guess it doesn't bring in the dollars for Upland. So, my priorities are definitely not Upland's priorities.
I mean, I would imagine it's got to be really tough because everything is its own individual transaction, right? Like, everything is its own individual NFT, and so therefore every move that it makes is its own transaction. So, I mean, I can understand why it wouldn't be easy because you probably have to create some kind of smart contract that would enable you to do that.
Is that a taboo subject? Is that taboo? I mean, smart contracts have been around for what, a decade?
Well, yeah, but you never know, like that. But that type of smart contract may not have been invented yet. The ability to do that kind of thing may not even exist for all we know. Like, I don't know shit about, developing on the blockchain or anything like that. But what I do know is that it is so new that most people stay away from it because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you can create things so much easier in other areas.
Well, that's it. Yeah, exactly right. I guess it might be on their wish list, but that's much harder to do than something else. I get that. I'm just saying from a player point of view, I'd much rather see that dealt with or the moving of assets dealt with than a week's long war that, is a bit of fun, but it's not improving.
More fun. To be honest.
And if Upland just brought back swapping with good guidelines and rules, you would have 10 times the fucking player base. Like, I guarantee that.
This is where we agree to disagree. I think it's against the spirit of the game.
I don't think so at all, because it created so much community. People can, and if you...
Well, isn't that in the name? That's like one of their taglines, a property trading game.
Yeah, but you're swapping properties just to collect the bonus and then you're giving it back. So imagine borrowing for now a month.
Yeah, but collection properties had 10 times the value that they have right now.
Well, they still have value.
Nothing like they used to have. Nobody would have ever.
A lot of that's to do with the fact that the demand for the game has gone down.
I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. Collection, that was a utility that they took away from the game. If they were to bring it back and
I'd argue that was a loophole they closed.
I don't know, man. It brought, as soon as they closed that loophole, everybody left this game. Like, and yeah, sure, you can say it was the bear market or what.
It wasn't sustainable.
But no, you're right. The way it was, I will agree. The way it was not sustainable. But if you brought it in and you made it so that it was tier-based and
players were killing the game that they were fucking playing. And they continued. If that had continued...
Upix pool that ends up being depleted.
Right. And you wouldn't, but here's the thing too. You would make it so that it wasn't, you could make it so that it wasn't as crazy. And I already know that they could do this. They could
do a million things that they don't do. We could argue this all day long.
I mean, I'm just saying, if they brought that back and they, not the way it was, but they revamped it and they actually did it so that, you know, like they could probably even, they make it so that it's tier based and it would incentivize people to level up. You make it so that only directors and above can swap, you know, like lower properties. And then, so you have to be a director. So you have to have 1 million upix in the game to even be able to swap properties to start.
I don't have it. I mean, I joined the game after that was stopped anyway, so I guess I wasn't around to experience that.
If you had experience swapping, you would agree with me. Trust me.
And I can tell you now, I borrowed for this tournament competition that we just had for Tokyo. I borrowed a collection from another player who said keep it for the 3 days so you can collect the bonus. And I said I don't collection swap. In fact, I actually take a pride. I've only got 2 collections that are grayed out of my screen. One of those is one of my very first ever collections that I purchased, which is in downtown Las Vegas, which I sold. And part of me wants to buy it back just so I can reactivate it. And the other one is Manhattan. And I only did that because I was flipping properties and I actually had 3 at one point, and it's an instant collect because it's just the blue Manhattan. So I collected it and then flipped the properties. So they're the only 2 grayed out collections I have in the game, and that's kind of a pride for me, the fact that I don't collection and swap, and I don't want grayed out collections in my. But that's just me. I don't think it was sustainable what they were doing, and I left that comment up there because I want to address that in a sec.
No, I can agree with you there. Like I said, it wouldn't have been sustainable. But
if they'd continued that through this bear market, Upland would be dead.
It because they, at that point in the game, they had a pretty big player base, much bigger than we have now.
Yeah, but that player base would have diminished anyway.
They had let it go so long that by the time they let it go and they just took it away completely, you basically took away the whole game.
Yeah, but your argument against them stopping collections swapping is the same as my argument against them stopping sniping. I mean, we can agree to disagree.
I don't know. I think they took something away from the game that, you know, was inherently part of the game's name, like property trading. You know, like
but that's not what they were referring to.
You could make
basically a loophole that got you free upix and significant upix.
Sure, but you know what? Upix is already to the point to where it's almost worthless in this game. So if they
wasn't then though, but it probably contributed to it.
I would say it probably did a little, but you know what? Back then, here's the thing, you weren't around when people were swapping. We had floors. We had floor prices that were 60% markup, and it was insane. That was insanely low back then. You could easily get 80% if you were selling collection properties. A rare property, you could get 200% USD markup for no problem.
Leban's got a good point. There wasn't as much to do in the game as there is today. So, anyway, let's move on from that because I want to bring up this Atlas Earth. I was playing some crap mobile game on my phone, and I actually saw it advertised, and it made me think, well, where the fuck is Upland's advertisement? I haven't seen Boo, like me personally, and I don't know whether this is an Australian thing. I don't know if you guys have seen any advertising in America for Upland.
Bunch of it, not for Upland, but Atlas.
No,
I see on every other app.
So where the fuck is where's Upland thrown? I mean, back in the day when I came to Upland, it's because I saw an ad in the Brave browser saying check out Upland. I saw that, and then I also
Brave, but
but you know what I mean. So where is the and I'll add to that and go, well, you know, Animoca Brands, which is some sort of parent company or fucking, I don't know what you want to call them to Upland, because they had that big $18 million funding round that was led by Animoca Brands, who used to have links to Upland on their website. And let's face it, Upland wants to be associated with Animoca Brands. Where the fuck is that all gone? None of that exists anymore. There's nothing. You go look at Animoca Brands, you will not see Upland mentioned anywhere.
It actually is. I was actually checking that out the other day.
I was looking at it. I couldn't find anything for it.
Well, most of what they display on their website is all.
Do share. Well, are you able to share and show us what?
Hold on. Let me see if I can.
because I'll be happy to be corrected if I'm wrong. But I'd love to
When was
see.
the last time that you checked, Swarley?
Not recently, probably a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And I was going through that, and I was looking on the different tabs and trying to find anything that related to Upland, and I couldn't. It used to be on their homepage. It used to be a link to Upland or something, from what I understand, back in the day. But yeah, I just happened to see on my own phone, like in Australia here, that Atlas Earth was advertised, and I'm like, okay, so that's kind of a competition for Upland. Where the hell is Upland's advertisement? I mean, advertising works. I mean, if it didn't, we wouldn't have the quadrillion bloody dollar industry for advertising. It clearly works. Where is Upland's advertising?
Well, I'm just curious what demographic they're targeting right now, because they've partnered or hired different companies for advertising. They've made those announcements, but yeah, I don't see.
You got to be targeting the crypto audience. So I saw on one of the crypto channels that I watched, I think it might have been today, searches for how do I buy Bitcoin hit an all-time high in this last week, which makes sense with all Bitcoin hitting an all-time high, with Trump being supposedly the pro-crypto president being inaugurated today or yesterday or whatever it was.
Still today.
It was yesterday for me, but anyway. So at least date-wise, it was yesterday. Although,
yeah.
I don't know. So obviously, we're at the start of this massive bull run that may include, which is what we're targeting, is the retail crypto audience. So there should be fucking ads everywhere for it. I'm involved in the crypto audience, and I haven't seen boo. It got me the first time. Here I am, 4 years on, still here, or 3 years on, still here. So where is the further ads? I mean, maybe they're coming out shortly. I don't know, but we did have this so-called drive on Twitter not that long ago, which was supposed to go for 5 rounds or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we only got.
And one of those rounds turned out to be you just getting a full spark at G Week, if you attended it, which was great for those that couldn't. Atlas Earth gets 600k month users. I've never played it. I can't comment on what it does. I think Ben actually plays it. I'm not sure. I think
he does. I heard him talking about it, and that's why I checked it out originally.
I've never even downloaded it. I don't know anything about it. I've never tried playing it. I'm pretty committed to Upland. Probably mostly, biggest reason, I've already got a lot of money into Upland, so that sort of commits me until I can sort of break even, I guess, at least. Plus, I love the fact that I can do the UGC stuff, which, to my knowledge, is not available on any other game at this stage. And now there's another game that comes out and does something like Upland has, and that's where Upland are the leaders with UGC and allowing us to create content for the game. That they get, full 10 points from me in relation to that, because they're allowing people like myself. And
so that's one thing you love. You love the UGC.
Yeah, but that's not really playing Upland, is it? That was like
it is.
I mean, Ben, you get to create and build your own assets and sell them in the game. That's playing Upland.
Well, we did up until this season, yeah.
So being a businessman,
you have to be one of the most negative people I have ever met, Swarley. You will find a way to spin something good into something shit. Like no matter what we're talking about in Upland, you find a way to be like, no, actually. What? Like, you love the game, but you criticize it to no end.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess what's the point of me even saying that? It's like, you're like, yeah, so that's fucking the way it is.
Well, the point I was just trying to make is this season, Upland pretty much eliminated UGC from the ornament competition.
It did. You're right on that. Because we've talked about that a lot, and then the way they structured, the structure ornament sales for the ornament contest, really just it fucked the UGC community significantly. And Swirl, I know you felt that. I felt that because, you know, we were prepping to get the Krampus thing ready to go, and then they announced this thing, and I was like, well, that sucks. And I know you were doing the same shit, and it fucked you too, unfortunately. It bit you right in the butt.
The only thing I sold this season was about 100, not even that. I think actually I gave most of them away, to be fair. Was the only thing that moved was micro houses. And most of those were given away, to be fair.
Yeah.
So essentially you're saying because of the way they structured like what the Tokyo you couldn't use UGC assets for the Tokyo structures to gain
No.
that?
Well, with the way that the competition was what drove the UGC structural elements. So I'm not talking about structural elements at the moment. I'm not talking about map assets in other areas, just structural elements, which is where my focus was. So you went from being able to have any collection across the whole of Upland to just one city. Now, this season was always going to be a low selling season anyway, because winter is one of those seasons that already has a lot of structural ornaments out there, because pretty much the vast majority of stuff prior to the UGC really hitting the market was either winter or Genesis. So those two seasons already had a lot of structural ornaments compared to some of the other seasons, which are relatively brand new, like Frost or Blossom, which didn't really exist. And Blossom probably in the middle there somewhere. So you're already pushing shit uphill with winter to begin with, because there's stacks of stuff out there for winter as it was. But then to then limit it to the one city. So I was anticipating that, you know, the top scorers last season we saw the top scorers get 150, 200 points or something like that. So that's collections with structural ornaments on it. I was anticipating this season we're going to see well over that for winter, because people already own a crap load of structural ornaments. And then we did see it hit 200. The winner did get 200, but the second place was, 70 or something, 70 or 80, something like that. I forget what the scoring was. There was a huge gap from first to second.
Yeah. And the points were down significantly, and that's including the fact that it didn't even have to be in a collection.
Yeah. So you didn't need anywhere near as many structural ornaments to begin with. So the bulk sales is where, especially myself, was making some decent coin in previous seasons. It just didn't happen this season. I had one bulk sale of 10 micros, and that was it for the entire season.
Yeah, that whole process, the shift that they made to make it to go that way is good and bad. It's bad for UGC because
it's just the game. It's just the game evolving. There's not much I can do about it. I'm not whinging about it. I'm just saying it was profitable for the first two seasons I was involved, and all of a sudden it wasn't. The work that I put in to get the structural ornaments out there that I had for this season, because I had the peppermint stuff, plus I had a couple of other things, including Elslake's Krampus, none of it moved. I could barely give it away, let alone sell it.
Yeah. I think I still have some.
In fact, I'd almost argue that my best-selling ornament for the last season just gone was my fire stations, which is for the next season.
Huh. So, I mean, were you selling like you're saying, you were doing way better before? Like, how much more were you selling? Like, what was the difference?
75% at a
rough
ballpark. That's how much I'm down.
That's pretty crazy.
So I keep a track. I'll share this because I don't mind sharing this publicly because I don't give a fuck.
That's the spirit. I love that.
Entire screen. I'll share this side. Share. So I've always, since I started treasure hunting, I've always kept. I don't keep my treasure hunting stats anymore, but I've always kept my overall, just keeping track of how much I've earned in the game and my net worth. So I can tell you, like November 22, like my net worth in the game was 5 million upix. And then I've kept that track, and I update this at the end of every month, and have done ever since I started doing it back on day one. So I was already, halfway towards executive when I started doing this. I'd already been playing the game for a while anyway. I know I started playing, I think, April of that year, so I'm already 6 months in. I'll bring that up in a sec. So you can look at Now these are done by month, not by season, so it's a little bit sort of convoluted, I guess you could say. So if we look at September, that was in the middle of the harvest season, and my net worth went up roughly 2 million for just this month. So not even the full season, but that month, my net worth went up 2 million. Now let's assume that my property sales and all the other stuff that I do roughly stays the same throughout the entire, and I don't go crazy or do anything, and I haven't had any huge jumps. Actually, no, this is the better one, because the end of October, when did the harvest season finish?
I believe it's the end of October.
No, it's halfway through November, isn't it? And then December was the start. Yeah. So you can the October. So the October is the first 4 weeks of the full season, and you can see from there that my net worth went up 3 million for that 1 month. So that includes property, like my property earnings, stuff like that, which is 1 million. So 2 million of it, roughly, was maybe flipping properties and selling UGC items. I don't break it all down to that much. But if we take out the one, so it's not even 1 million from my property earnings, but let's just take out 1 million. So we're looking at roughly 2 million earned. Then we look at December. So I've earned over 1 million, but my total net worth has only gone up by, what's that? A bit under 2 million. So take out 1 million. So the math works out to be close to 75% drop in my net worth growth for that 1 month. So you're comparing the first month of a season, October to December, to both the first 4 weeks of the season, and my growth has more than halved for that season.
So it really did. Like, I mean, it's not the only person that affected either, right?
For the amount of hours that I do creating these items and then minting them, so obviously you got to have the spark to mint them, then you got to move them all one by one, and then they sit there in the shop. And I've literally, I mean, I'm sure there's a way you could somehow pull the data from the blockchain and work out what I sold and stuff, and it'll just back what I'm saying. The sales, and I assume this is across the board for all creators, not just me, for structural ornaments, that there's a massive drop. And then to add insult to injury, Upland then go introduce unique structural ornaments for the Tokyo properties, which we aren't allowed to do.
Yeah, so they kind of cornered the market in that spot and then neuter the UGC by not allowing the whole metaverse to be open to taking these.
Which didn't really work, because from last I saw, they only sold, I think, like 50 out of the 200 unique structured ornaments to begin with anyway. So how do I do this? I'm going to stop sharing for a sec. I don't want to show something I shouldn't.
Don't share anything special.
I mean, do you think, like Jimmy Kester's kind of pointing out, he's kind of saying flooded market? Like, you don't think that has anything to do with it? That maybe enough creative?
No, because the drive behind the structural. Okay, there's, in my head at least, and people have different opinions, but in my head, there's two main reasons why you'd buy a structural ornament. One is because it's fucking awesome. Tosshead, with some of the stuff that he does, is a classic example of that. Like he's got very limited runs. Like some of them are even only 10 mints and that's it. A lot of them are only 100 mints. So there's quality with a demand because there's limited supply. So that's one reason why you might want to buy a structural ornament, just because it's fucking cool. End of story. The other reason is because you're participating in these ornament challenges, and there are up to 25 people that can win Block Explorers and prizes and stuff like that for it. So it is a reasonably fun competition to be involved in. I love being a part of it. But each season, everybody's getting more and more and more. So the number that you need to have is always increasing. So it's the flooded market. I see what you're saying, but everybody's getting flooded. So what Shaq was winning season 1 of these tournaments with 100 ornaments. Now 200 isn't getting you a win. So right. Yeah,
I mean, you also
market
have that
might be flooded.
For people you're competing with as well, right? Like in the beginning, there weren't as many structural ornament like people that were making them on their own, right? Like in the last couple of months, you probably had at least 10 more people create structural ornament shops, right? And factories. Yeah. So I mean, and that just exponentially keeps growing. So I mean, it's hard to, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's hard to really blame Upland 100% on that when in all reality you just have so much more supply being dumped on the market. And anything,
it certainly didn't help. I guess it is the point. The takeaway is that it certainly didn't help that they're cornering it into one section of the metaverse, and then they're also selling, like having you build unique structures for a unique structured ornament. It just doesn't promote community, I would say, in that way. Not like it would if it was open to everywhere and then you could just mint it or like build these structure ornaments or put these structure ornaments on already existing builds that are in collections, or even if they just did it for non-collection like they were doing in Tokyo, and you get 1 point for that. Was it 3 points for a collection one, something along those lines? Yeah. I mean, do that too, and then they could also sell their, make structural ornaments for a specific city, but open it to everywhere so you can get the best of both worlds. I think that's probably the better play, but it certainly did suck to only be able to sell to Tokyo, and you don't have like it's not minted out, so there's already like less properties there to begin with, and then I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that are not in favor of UGC for that specific.
But what we've got going forward, I'm pretty confident in saying that what we saw in Tokyo is the new norm moving forward. So I think we'll see something very similar. I had a stab and said that Miami would be my pick for the next season, but I mean, it could easily be France with all the, the new release and expansion and stuff like that, and trying to build out France a bit more. I mean, it makes sense. But my best guess and reading between the lines and what they're saying, I think what we just saw with Tokyo is the new norm. Now, will we see the war in the same city as the city of focus for the structural ornaments like we saw with Tokyo at each season? Who knows? I guess we'll find out in time.
Yeah.
Upland like keeping us guessing, so they probably won't do it that way, but who knows? Put it this way: this season and seeing what's happened with structural ornaments and UGC has made me rethink my future as to what I want to do with Upland and UGC. And I'm still on the fence. I moved. Part of the reason why we moved to Melbourne was so I could go and do 3D animation at uni. I'm probably not going to do that now because I just think it's not worth the risk of doing a $50,000 course. I could get a job in that down the track, but I'm also nearly 50. So do I really want to do that as a whole new career?
You still got a lot of life to live. Hell yeah, you do.
So this is things I need to work out. Like part of the reason we moved here was so I could do it. Now it's like I'm not sure I do want to do it. It's not because I don't want to do it. I fucking do want to do it. I just don't want to spend 50 grand doing it. So I don't know. So I have to work things out. But I was super excited about doing UGC for Upland. Now I'm not. And I think the move forward is to do Toshead style of do an ornament, make it high quality, and do a limit of 10 and sell the 10 for 50,000 UPX each, walk away with $500,000, and then move on to the next one.
Well, you definitely got the talent to create high quality assets.
Yeah, but again, we're so limited to what we can do. It's what I'm looking forward to, and this will make me happy if it does happen, is if they allow us to do blueprints. That's almost a green light to have the creative freedom to create whatever we want without limitations, without covering up their precious fucking chimneys and shit on the roof. Stuff like that. I mean, if we get to do blueprints and I can sell blueprints, that may well be the one thing that reignites my enthusiasm for Upland and UGC. But
I got something that's going to reignite your enthusiasm.
Talking about that for years, and it hasn't happened yet.
Well, so. Speaking of some builds, that node building that you did, any result on that yet? Any word?
Nope.
Still no decision. So you're still in it. There's still the chance that you can be victorious.
I'll be blunt. I'll be brutally honest with you. I really hope I don't win because I don't want to do all the work to get it Upland ready.
Well, that makes sense.
if that makes any sense.
It does. I know exactly what that entails for you.
Because if I did get the notification, congratulations, you won. I mean, yeah, there's some good prizes to win, and I'd be stoked and just to be in the same, to be in that list. And I don't know who the other 2 creators are. I can have a guess, but I don't know for sure. But I know D-Tech's one of the 4 creators that submitted, and just to be in the same list as him is almost, I'm just happy to be, in competition with him and produce stuff that I think at least gives him a run for his money. Like, I'm not saying that they're better than his or anything like that. They're different styles. I think all 8 submissions are all fantastic. I think any one of the 8 would be worthy of being in the game. And I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what everyone else is thinking. If they don't win, hopefully we can enter them as blueprints down the track. That was certainly my motivation behind it. It wasn't, I think I can beat D-Tech, because I don't think I can. But blueprints is what I really want to see in the game. And like I said, they've been talking about it for 3 years plus. I'm not going to hold my breath, but it's the one thing that I'm really hoping does happen.
I feel like it's not far out. I mean, they did the blueprint recently with what was that event that they did that they gave blueprints away?
Yeah,
they're burning the past.
Yes.
Actually, I got one of those. I sold it for like $250 too.
No shit.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, I mean, good for you, but why? Like, why would you buy? Like,
You mean
what advantage?
Yeah, why would somebody pay $250?
Yeah.
For it? I don't know, but they did, and I was stoked.
Yeah,
I'd be stoked too.
I didn't even have it for sale or anything. Somebody reached out to me and was like, "Hey, would you sell it for?" I wanted like $350, to be honest. So I started pretty high, and then the fact that I got like $250 for it, I was pretty stoked. Because when you think about that, what did I put in? Like 20 some odd bucks for those 4 passes?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I mean, you can call me negative again if you want, but that's what pissed me off about that was we were told for 4 seasons these had no monetary value. These were cosmetic only. Mm-hmm. There was no monetary value, no monetary reward for owning these. You can collect them as whatever, and now there's points for it. Happy days, and you can win stuff by having points. We won't get on that one. But all of a sudden, they then introduced this blueprint, which, lo and behold, had monetary value, and that was the thing that pissed me off about it. So
yeah, that was a bummer.
If you want, but that's what pissed me off. And I mean, again, it's Upland's game. They can do what they want. They can change the rules. They do change the rules, and that's the game. It is like we're in their territory. We
Well, I mean, in a sense, all they did was reward collectors. I had burned one and then bought a separate one as just to collect. I didn't do that with any expectations of getting these blueprints or anything. Like, I did that strictly because I wanted to collect them, and then it just worked out.
Why not just reward the people that bought the passes in the first place?
But that's what they're doing. They rewarded the people who bought the passes and then bought more passes, right? So they rewarded people who went above and beyond.
But they gave you something that had a monetary value for something they said didn't have a monetary value.
Well,
they said it wouldn't be worth it.
Technically, it didn't have a monetary value until
you made $250 from it.
Yeah, but until I sold it, there was no monetary value.
Well, you can build it, put it on a property, and then sell that property for more than what it. You know what I mean? So it added value to something. The point I'm trying to make is it added value to your account when they said it doesn't add value to your account.
Well, I think, I guess in a sense you're right, but in a sense, like, then why the hell did I buy more? Because I thought that they were going to be valuable to me. They added that own value.
You can speculate on the pass themselves, and perhaps in the time they could be worth more money.
Speculating that in time those passes themselves would gain value because you wouldn't be able to buy them again. They were essentially a limited time kind of thing, and they were the first season that Upland did season. So I wanted to own every one. I don't own any now because I burned them.
Yeah.
And I got
and if Upland ever did get big with like 1 million users a day, someone somewhere is going to go, I want one of every season's pass from day one. And season 1 might only have 10 of them. So they could be worth a fuck ton. We all knew that.
Well, right. So in that sense, then,
but that's because it was the pass only.
Like they weren't really. Here's the thing: Upland can say something has no value, But if I can fucking sell it for money, it has value. Because if somebody else out there is willing to pay for it, then it has value. That's all anything has value from, is what is the next guy going to pay for it? If nobody is willing to pay a dime for it, then yeah, it has no value. Right?
Did you or did you not burn a pass which then added value to your account?
The pass that I burned added no value to my account.
You added $250 to your account because you sold it for that.
No, I had to have that.
Whether it was $2.50 or $250,
but I had to have that second pass.
Well, not the burned one. The burned one adds no value, but the extra one they didn't.
Which he then burnt. No, he did burn it though, because he burned it
after they had announced to burn it though, right? Like I was willing to just hold on to those whether they were going to have that contest or not. So I don't see how it's, and they were still on the second market. People could have bought them. Like it wasn't, I don't see how that's being unfair. So if you go over,
I didn't say it was unfair. I'm just saying Upland changing the rules, which again, like I said, it's their game. It's their prerogative to do that. And I understand that. I'm not.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's one of those wonky communication things that they.
So basically, they said one thing, then 6 months later, they did something different. And that's what I took umbrage to. Anyway, you sent me this link. So this is the Animoca brand. So we're talking about this earlier, saying the other day was looking, I couldn't find any link to Upland on this website.
So go to Metaverse. Scroll to the top and see where it says Metaverse.
Okay, maybe I never did this in the first place. So there's Upland.
There's Upland right there.
So it's very
And then, it basically just brings you right to their website.
And they have a...
So Sandbox is still first. Like, fuck me.
Well, right. Like, that doesn't, to me, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But
well, it's not, if it was alphabetical order, I'd go, okay, sweet. That makes sense. But it's clearly not.
No.
Otherwise, Upland would be last.
I mean, it could just be an order of when they received.
It's not really last either. It's kind of like right there in the middle.
It's on the second row, and it's in front of Star Atlas, which is one that I've got a bit of a small bag of. But
what's that, Boydern?
All right, so good. So you've proved me wrong there, so I'm happy with that. So there is a link at least in Meta to Animoca, which I must have missed that when I was looking for it the other day.
Well, and I had to look, like it's not like, because if you go to their projects, Sandbox is in there, and they have a list of like.
And that's where I think I was.
Projects.
That's where I think I was.
Yeah, and Upland isn't mentioned in there at all. Like they're featuring a lot of other things where, I mean, like I can see where you're saying, like you couldn't even find it, right? Like you looked on the website and you couldn't even find Upland.
You can't search it, can you? So you'd have to accidentally come across it. Yeah. It's very convoluted. Like how many new users are going to get drawn in looking at Animoca brand and then going, I'll see what they're involved in, and then find Upland and click on it and go, I'll check this one out. Like it's
not many.
They should be doing a lot more. I mean, if that's what they're hoping is going to be advertisement, I mean, to me, it's insane that they're not running the Facebook ads again like they did and advertise on Brave browser. If they just did those two things, like that seemed to bring a lot of people.
Put up some damn billboards. Something.
Well, and crypto is getting to be a lot more mainstream now. You might have people that...
Okay, put it this way. Do they not have a partnership with XYO? Yes, no.
Yeah, they have a partnership with XYO.
Apparently they do. Do we not watch ads for 3 fucking coin fucking tokens on XYO? Or can you not have the option to watch ads? Don't worry about the games, and that's a whole different story again.
Oh yeah, like the audio ones, and then they have like
you can watch the video ads and get 3 or 4 coin tokens. Well, at least my Australian version of it, you can watch an ad. Not many of them. Like I can watch 2 or 3 a day or something like that. How is Upland not one of those ads?
Well, right, like that's ridiculous.
How many fucking XYO crypto fucking users are using that application? We have a partnership with them. I haven't seen fucking boo. Yes, they've had that learn and earn from Upland. Yeah, great start.
And also,
but what after that? Like you can't just start and then go, no, that's enough. We'll just leave that and we'll go do the next project.
Well, they have that whole games tab section on the bottom too. I mean, technically, Upland's a game. Why don't you advertise with them and earn coin just for playing the game? Maybe if you
Buy your
get
first
the Uplander
property.
status, you get fucking X
10,000
amount of
updates
coin.
or 10,000. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And purchases may get you to your target faster.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
But
you
where
know,
is this?
it's
We
a
don't
move.
see it. This is my point. I'm seeing nothing from Upland to push Upland. It's like they're expecting us to push it with the challenge each season to refer a new fucking user. That seems to be the only thing they're doing to push it. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure there's stuff that I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I'm not seeing any ads. And I was 3-4 years ago saying ads. So
Right.
Let's see more ads.
I'm curious what's going on, but like I said, they have partnered or acquired or whatever the fuck it was, where they have companies that are onboarding and doing advertising, but I just don't see where it's at. Like where's that money?
How many times over the last 3 years have we heard, we've formed a partnership with XYZ company?
Yeah.
And then you go look at that XYZ company or whatever, like FIFA or something, you don't see boo on the other end from them about Upland. I'm like, well, that's kind of where we need eyes on Upland. Like FIFA has how many million people worldwide watching it, and there wasn't a single ad for Upland anywhere to do with FIFA. Why did we have a partnership with FIFA if there wasn't even a little fucking click here? What's Upland? And someone can, what's this Upland? And click on it. Oh, it's a game. Okay, I might check it out. Like it wasn't even that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because it wasn't even a partnership. It was just, purchasing the rights to use
their name for something.
Their name or the likeness of the players or whatever the case may be.
I mean, if you ask me, XYO is the perfect platform for them to start a push on advertising Upland. There couldn't be a better platform to start. That shouldn't be the end. There should be. I mean, you got the in-game advertisings and all that sort of stuff. So when you're playing these stupid games, you got the ads that you get an extra bonus. All that should all be part of it as well. Plus, you add the Brave browser ads and all that. I mean, they've done it. They know how to do it. They've done it before. But XYO's got to be the perfect platform to start advertising, and it's just not there.
Right.
We saw when I first saw that in Learn and Earn with the Upland. Like, okay, this is great. This is a start. But that's 3 months ago.
What does Upland offer to XYO though? I'm curious. Like what can XYO get out of Upland on their game if they want to cross advertise or whatever? How do you integrate XYO into Upland?
Well, to me, it's Upland paying XYO to advertise in the game. So if you're having those click to view that ad, so we're getting 3 coins. So Upland's got to buy that coin to give to the users to watch the ad. So it's more of a maybe the partnership's more of like you get a fucking mates rate partnership discount or something like that. I don't know. Again, why doesn't Upland advertise inside Upland? I don't know. Like to me, it's the perfect fucking location to be advertising. And why wouldn't Macca's want to buy their Macca's locations and put a Macca store in there? And so you're in a game, you see Macca's, oh fuck, I go a Big Mac right now. Like that's just, you know what I mean? Like as if that wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I might just call Uber Eats and get Macca's delivered or something. Like as if that wouldn't fucking happen.
Hey, maybe they'll have a Super Bowl commercial coming up. Wouldn't that be some crazy shit?
Yeah,
that would blow their entire budget tenfold.
It's like $2 million or some shit to fucking have a commercial.
And what the most effective one of the most effective ones was I think 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was Coinbase or one of them just had that barcode, just the square one. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, QR code.
QR code. It was just bouncing around the screen. So it was literally, it didn't say anything on the screen. It was just a black screen. The QR barcode is just bouncing around the screen. So people are like, I have no fucking clue what this is. And they got to click to the fucking website.
I bet that worked great.
It was in the Super Bowl. 30 seconds of just a black screen with a QR code on the screen. So, and that was when, so that'd be interesting if Upland just did that. Where's the band with his fucking little van? Chuck that on the screen, driving around.
I know.
I think that's one of
the QR code
is they just don't like the ads that they have done. Have you ever seen their ads in games?
No. Only ad I've ever seen was just the one screen, the pop up one page, like just like a flyer almost. Yeah, that wasn't part of the break. That's the only ad I've ever seen. And I saw them. I was familiar with it, but I never got into Upland. It wasn't until I started watching a streamer for a different game who sometimes did an Upland stream. And then eventually, after seeing about 4 or 5 of these different streams, he was an Australian YouTube, but doesn't do any content anymore. And it was after about 4 or 5 videos of watching Upland, I thought, because I had already seen Upland, I had already registered for Upland, but I hadn't played it. So I was actually pretty sure that my first ever log into Upland was when San Francisco was a thing. And only San Francisco was a thing. But then I disappeared from the game and only came back after Queens was released. So that was more than a year later. So again, Upland, yeah, you need to retain people like that who come in and look at it and go, I don't know what's going on, and then fuck off, never come back.
Well, their ads suck, to be honest with you. Like if you've seen one like I've seen them where they advertise in games, and it is so you have no clue what it even is. It'll be like there was like FIFA ads they were trying to advertise like for FIFA, back when they had that whole thing going, and it was like a llama and he was playing soccer, and that was their ad. Miles playing soccer, kind of like FIFA, and like trying to suggest that you might be playing soccer if you download this game. It just made no fucking sense,
So Labance's listed a bunch of partnerships there, and one that he's missed is the BitGet one. We have an island in Upland. Why the fuck is the island not called BitGet Island? I mean, we can rename shit all over the planet for different sponsorship reasons. That island should simply be labeled BitGet fucking Island.
Yeah, that's what I keep calling it. It's BitGet Island. Rename the damn thing.
Treasure Island, but it should have that and encourage corporations like BitGet and whatever to buy bits of Upland. How is that a bad thing? Like, I'm not opposed to having advertising. Like, maybe other players are, but I mean, we have advertising jammed out down our throats every other aspect of our lives. Doesn't matter what you do, where you go, what you look at. There's advertising there. So to have a little bit in Upland doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm pretty much immune to it. But
if you could 10 epics for watching an ad, people would be clicking on them all fucking day.
I wouldn't, but new players probably would.
People would,
Lucky would. Yeah.
I mean, like 100%. But again, like,
get these lazy assholes that don't want to have a real job and they think they can make money in Upland just by sitting on their ass playing a video game. I think that appeals to a lot of these I'm gonna say fucking lazy new generation ass don't want to work motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, Upland's based on the real world, but it's only based on the real world. Once it's created, it's not going to stay the same as the real world. The real world, I've mentioned this in one of Ben's shows years ago, was the real world changes. Like lands subdivide or join up and different developments happen. Like, I'm sure that some of the stuff that was released in San Francisco way back in the day is not the same as what it is in game now. So, yes, a city is released based on the real world, but from that point onwards, the real world and Upland split and go different ways. So to rename a neighborhood fucking Macca's fucking hood or something like that, to me, is not a fucking big deal. To be honest, anything that helps Upland and improves Upland and makes the gameplay, and watching an ad for 10 UpX or 100 UpX, or even fucking one Sparklet or something. I don't know.
Yeah, people be doing it all day.
Yeah.
This is the roadmap update for Q4 and beyond. And one of the top things that says major user acquisition projects. Our first focus area involves ambitious projects in collaboration with strategic partners set to expand Upland's ecosystem in a big way. These large-scale efforts will deepen Upland's reach and strategic positioning. More details coming in Q1 of 2025. Stay tuned for announcements. So
we're just ahead of the time
right now. At any point in the next
3 months,
3 months, we're going to get some big announcements with details.
We're going to see ads on XYO.
Maybe look. I mean, we could be banging on some drums that are already well on their way,
right.
Man.
Exactly right.
So
and let's hope that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they literally say it right here. I mean, thanks Laban for giving me this link. Yeah, I mean, I hope this is accurate. I know that they haven't always been able to uphold their, timelines, but
No.
I mean, I'm a glass half full guy. I keep saying it. I'm gonna cross my fingers. I'm gonna pray to my God or whatever I got to do to see that this happens, because I just want to see Upland be successful. And I think they're going again in a good direction. They're gonna have missteps along the way doing novel things, but I mean, that's again, somebody alluded to that. I think maybe it was who was it? Mitch McKinnon. We bitch because we love the game and we want to see it be better, and that's all it is. I mean, we love this thing and we just want to. We know it can be better, and I'm sure it's really fucking hard. I couldn't do it, so I can't fucking do it.
At the risk of being called negative again, the hard pill to swallow is when you wait for 4 years for something to happen, like filtering out the searching for when you hover over and you can now pick out UPX or USD. So that's been on the cards to be done for 4 to 5 years. So it finally got done last quarter, and then we're meant to go awesome, fantastic, like well done Upland, you've finally delivered something that took 4 years to deliver. Like that's not something to celebrate. That's something that should have been done 4 years ago, in my head at least. That's something that should have been done 4 years ago. And stuff like that, like the UGC moving map assets, just stuff like that. Those teething problems, which are just driving. I mean, I'm burnt out from Upland just moving shit around. I underestimated how fucking which is hard to do because I was very aware of what I was getting myself into with moving map assets. I've heard a million people say how painful it is to move them.
I mean, Ben talks about it at nauseum, how horrible it is.
But moving all these fences, like I was doing it at nighttime. Like after doing UGC all day, I'd go and sit in front of the TV with my laptop and just move fucking map assets.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the point where I hated turning Upland on because I was just sick of moving shit one at a time, and then having every third one error out or something, you have to redo it anyway. So yeah, but yeah, there's no point getting 1,000 new users or millions of new users if they open up Upland on their iPhone and it crashes.
Yeah,
I think Wolf Warner made a very good point of that on the Ninja show the other night.
I think the thing that scares people away the most still is you're basically just throwing your money away as soon as you buy UPX.
Oh, 100%. But Upland was different because its tagline was play, earn, connect, or play, connect, earn, whatever it was. And a lot of players, and I think honest truth, if people really honestly answer this question properly, is one of the things that attracted them to Upland is the ability to earn. It's not a guarantee. We understand that. And it's like anything else. You don't throw any money in there that you're not willing to risk. And if Upland crashed and burned tomorrow, I'd be pissed off, but it's not going to ruin my life. So I've got more in there than I probably would like at the minute, but it is what it is. But I think that is probably that earn aspect is probably one of the biggest catalysts to retaining the players, a lot of the players that we do have. Now, I didn't come here to connect, but I certainly have connected with certain people and groups, and it's one of the main reasons why I stay. It's not so much the earn aspect anymore. It's because, the banter and the connections that you have, and it's not just you and Laban. Like there's, quite a few other people, including some Aussies. I have not met anybody.
I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that.
Other than going to the meetup in London, I've not met anyone from Upland in real life.
I'm the only apple of your eye.
But so the connect part wasn't the reason why I came to Upland, but it's certainly a reason I stay in Upland. But the earn is the bit that I think draws a lot of players in to begin with, and that needs to stay. And
right,
is it easy to earn? Of course it's not, nor should it be. It should take fucking work and effort and understanding the game and not making mistakes and not fucking up. We all fuck up when we start because we don't know what we're doing. But the ability to earn is, and it still is there. You can still earn in this game. It's just a lot harder these days than what it was, which is fine. It is what it is. But I think if people don't think earn is a big catalyst to why this game could be successful, I think forgetting themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, yeah, nobody, like for the most part, nobody would be playing this game if there wasn't the slight chance of making some money.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea. I think that's the biggest appeal is the opportunity to make money. And then you just happen to find yourself into the connect aspect because it ties beautifully into earning. I think, like making connections with people, you find ways to grow together and you build up together and you do
the play part or tag of that tagline. Like when you think back 4 to 5 years ago, what was there really to play? Like there wasn't anywhere near as much as back then as it was today. So it was really, and the connection wasn't. That was still all developing. Like most, especially the OG players, will
you
say
were swapping properties and you were connecting with people all over the world.
But the connection wasn't as easy as it is today. There wasn't YouTube channels. There wasn't Discord.
Yeah, it was very easy.
It was all Telegram, wasn't it?
No, you still had Discord. Discord's probably been since like 2021 at least. And then once you had Discord channels, anybody could create a channel, so there was all kinds of small groups and everybody, it was very, like the community, I would say was the same as
Shim Jimmy. Shim Jimmy means USD, not ads. But if ads is what you're after, I'm not going to, each of their own. I don't know what ads are, but probably means something in his world. Flash challenges. Well, I participated in my first Flash challenge ever, the band, just last week, and I don't know if anybody won that, let alone. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm sure I would have got notified. But
the pirate thing that you put up?
Yeah, but I haven't even seen whether they've announced anybody to win that. And I'm like, surely I'm a chance to win 25K here. Nope.
Sometimes they drag their feet. Not drag their feet. I don't honestly believe they do any of that stuff on purpose. I don't think they're ever dragging their feet on purpose. I think just shit happens they don't expect, and you got to deal. You just got to do what you got to do.
Those tours that Upland did. Geez, we've got people chatting away now.
What do you guys say? I mean, it's almost 11:30 here. We got 2 hours and 12 minutes in. I know we could keep talking and debating all kinds of good stuff, but I know Happy and myself probably got work tomorrow, and it's late for us. What do you say we do a quick little hashtag giveaway? I swear I know it's middle of your day. Your missus probably isn't even home yet.
She is.
Oh, she is.
6:30 p.m. She got home, I think, like an hour ago. I had to come in, but she knows I'm doing the show, so that's all good.
Yeah. But yeah, let's do a hashtag giveaway. I'll give away one of those structural ornaments I can't sell, and then
I'll do a winner's choice. I don't care. It seems to be the only thing I am selling at the moment, and even then it's a trickle. Like one maybe every 3 or 4 days is a fire station one. And I've only made 3 of them. I haven't even done the usual full range of 6, mostly because I'm still pissed off I can't cover the roof in the apartment. So I'm like, fuck them. I don't really. I mean, I've got the fire station one there. It's ready to go, but because I can't cover the roof, they got rejected, and I'm just like, no, I'm not rebuilding it. I refuse.
Fair enough. Yeah. Hashtag sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. I thought you were going to go something to do with wars, just wars, or
no. I mean, no. I'm not going to let you bait me on that one.
I'm going to bait you.
You're going to bait me.
I'm not. What? I'm not part of your team anymore. So what's there to bait?
Oh God, that's what you're fucking doing it right now.
You still have the cyborg little emblem.
I know. I can't get rid of it. I thought when you clicked on someone else, it'd come up on them as well, so you could see what they are.
I was really hoping for that.
I was too. I thought,
I'm really disappointed because I know I'm a cyborg. I don't need to be reminded every time I look at my account that I'm a cyborg. I want to know what everyone else is. So, in other words, if I've got a property, I want to click on next door and see if they are something. I mean, Buehlmann did a fantastic little website there, and I think that's open to anybody, not just cyborgs. Cyborgs. So if you go to his website and sign up and stuff like that, you can go look at his page for the wars and the map of and shows beautifully where all the properties are and who owns what and stuff like that, and it's fantastic. And he says it updates within minutes of it being like if you go and purchase a property, it's up to I think the blockchain crawlers have got to pick it up or something, but it should update within a few minutes, so it should be relatively real time. So but that's a great tool. But I honestly thought in Upland itself, you could just click on the property and go, "Oh shit, I've got a pirate next to me. All right, I need to watch him." But no, not the case. So what's Happy doing? Is he like fucking?
Did I have my thumb over the? I think I had my camera.
I'm just like looking at some red mist, and I'm like, has he gone fucking postal or something?
Yeah, it's just my thumb right there.
Let's see.
How many watches?
Green.
I also need to give
watches
away...
and 8 entries. Come on, guys.
What? Oh, Scory wants to give away a couple benches. Okay, we can do that. I need to do one other giveaway that I did a while back, or I said I just need to finally fucking sure up on it.
All right, so next week's the first week where we start giving away UPICs for the racetrack. So I don't know if you've been pushing that. I haven't had any messages. Actually, I think one person might have even been Kate Madman and asked me for a couple of extra or something, and I just plain forgot. Hasn't been a good week for me with my root canal getting done today. Been basically a massive headache all week with my tooth aching. So I haven't done any Upland or anything really. So if people do need racetrack fencing, let me know. And we can get that going. Did you end up sorting out Picasso with a racetrack property?
No, not yet. I probably will at some point, but I have not done that.
So I saw he won his first race or something the other day, which is awesome. So I did promise him that I'd make him a structural ornament commemorating his win if he won the whole thing. And I suggested that he shouldn't, like, if we did that, it'd be like a mint 10 only sort of run. So, and then obviously I'd give them all to him and he can decide what he does with them. But, so that was his motivation to win the whole, not only motivation, but some motivation to try and win the whole thing. So I have no clue what I'm going to make him. So if anyone's got some ideas out there, if it looks like he is going to win, I need to pull my finger out.
He's definitely looking good.
Yeah, well, he's off to a good start. So, and by the looks of it, he's got the skills. And watching him on the interview the other day, he seemed like a top bloke. So, I'm almost disappointed that we're sharing the sponsorship with him. I almost want him all to ourselves, the trio.
I know. Maybe next time we'll.
Well, the ninjas have. I mean, yeah, we're not taking them away from the ninjas, are we? So.
Well, who says we're not? No, I'm just joking. I don't know. I'm not going to make that proclamation.
So, but anyway, I mean, yeah, I couldn't be happier to sponsor him, and it seems like a top racer. A good candidate to give Mahoney a run for his money. So it's great to see. So yeah, so if it looks like he's going to win, I need to come up with something. So I don't know, we'll figure something out that is very Picasso related. So I don't know exactly what, but we'll figure it out.
That's half the fun. Maybe
a house dressed in high vis with a trophy on top or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we can turn his Ready Player Me character into a 3D asset and then put him on top of a building just standing there like the Golden Man in Salem. I don't know, doing some wild pose.
Yeah. You like pushing my boundaries of my abilities, don't you?
I do. I have to.
Yeah,
okay,
I did work out how to make your structural ornament better, didn't I?
Yeah, fuck yeah, you did. Fuck yeah, you did. It looks great. All right, I'll give you about 10 more seconds to do hashtag sweet dreams. I'm going to spin this thing.
Do you want me to share it, or just we'll keep that a secret until we release it?
Yeah, let's just keep it a surprise until we release it.
Smartly, do you charge people for like designs? Like if I wanted you to create some map assets?
Generally speaking, I don't do work for other people. Mostly because it's not really profitable. and like I've done stuff for Laban and LSAC, but that's more of a mate sort of thing. So that's pretty much most of the work I've done is just mate stuff. Ben 68, I've been doing some stuff for him. I need to get back into it before I moved. He's paid me an UPX for some stuff, and that's probably the first real paying job I've ever done for anyone. I even did one for Scory. I did his what's the Easter Bunny coin that he's got, but again, I didn't get paid for that. The going rate, like I'm not. So when I look at myself compared to someone like Charles FR, who's obviously been doing this a lot longer than me, is a lot faster and a lot. He does charge for doing stuff. I don't know what he charges. I've never approached him, but from what I've learned from other people, I think his prices are probably pretty fair. But for me, I'd be working 2 days to earn $60, and that doesn't really make sense, does it?
No. So have you ever seen like Ready Map Assets?
Yeah, so that's with Slav and Land for Land.
They're like $20 and they'll design map assets for you.
Yeah, so again, and they're just really, really fast. I mean, it depends. I mean, you can create something in AI these days and it literally takes 30 seconds.
Right.
And then get it upland ready. It takes another, 15, 20 minutes. So they could probably do it in an hour and basically earn like a $20 an hour type role. I've never created for other people in the sense of I want it as a business. I've only wanted to create for myself. And plus, I'm still learning. So, even with my own creations, after I create it and I submit it, then I start picking up errors and stuff that I wish I could fix. And LSAC's Krampus is a classic example of that. If I'd been paid to do that, I'd just feel like shit because I don't feel like that was the best job I could do. And I was right, it wasn't. I've already improved, and I'll show you after the stream. I've already improved on it, which I didn't think at the time that I could do, but I figured out how to do stuff better.
I had to wait for you to build up confidence to do it.
So, I mean, I've only been doing probably pushing 6 months now. I've been doing UGC, so I'm still learning. I've been chatting with DTech a lot lately, which has been really good, and he's given me some pointers and stuff like that. In fact, I actually think I know something he doesn't, and we're gonna swap some tips and tricks with each other. I think later this week.
You're gonna drop a knowledge bomb on him?
Not something he doesn't know how to do, just something he does, but in a different way that might be easier. If that makes sense.
Let's give this thing away real quick. A couple of things I got to do. So we're gonna spin this deal. See who's gonna be the winner here.
Scory said he wants to give away 2 gold benches.
I know.
Gold benches. I want to be in that then.
Maui.
Fuck off. I mean, that came out wrong. I'm just thinking the Laban household won again. Like, fuck me.
I know. They're like the most winningest home.
Yeah.
All right, Maui.
But it's Maui, not Laban, so I'm happy for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, you win a fucking Krampus. So this one's for Swarley.
For me. All right. So winner's choice. So send me preferably on Discord, but in game if need be, what you want and where you want to pick it up.
Yeah, Maui, hit me up in game.
And Robert Smith. So you're gonna need to put your in-game name here so I know who it is and not someone scamming me. And if you don't have me on Discord or you don't have Discord, then message me in game. If you don't know what I have, just go to my shops, just look up Swarley, find the shop, see what I have for sale elsewhere, and just
Swarley 129.
Yeah,
Swarley 129.
You search shops and put in Swarley, it comes up. There's not any other Swarleys.
Oh, I thought you meant search your name. I was like, there's a Swarley out there that isn't 129, so just make that clear.
Robert, chucking your in-game name here at least right now. There we go. In-game. Oh fuck, I'm not gonna remember that. Is that like? We were asking you one day how you ended up with that as an in-game name because Robert Smith to that. That's like, hang on, that doesn't make any sense.
That can't be real. He's fucking with us, right?
That looks like he just started smashing on the keyboard. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm just gonna smash the keyboard.
Yeah,
and
it's
then that's what he came up with.
You heard the story how QApen ended up with his name. It was like the letters of his email address, which was his burn email address. He didn't know about Upland and he used it same as most of us do. And obviously now you can't change your name once you start. So I wonder if that's what's happened here.
No.
I'm going to see if that is his.
Yeah.
Or is it the top row or something? Or
Yeah, I see. It's like the three, like the top three, then the next three, and then yeah, I see. I see what you did there. Very well then. How do you say that? I want to
Do
know. I mean, yeah. All right, one more. Actually, two more. This is for Scory's benches. You'll have to reach out to Scory for these, but these are for the benches. Well, not for Scory. We're gonna draw that one again. That's how that always works out. That motherfucker
Scory,
wins everything.
Scory, you got to win something because your name came up. So
Mitch.
hit me up for a.
Mitchell McKinnon.
All right, so Mitch can hit up Scory for his benches, and Scory can hit me up for a structural ornament.
All right, one more bench going out to somebody from Scory 23. So Mitchell, reach out to Scory 23, just like Scory said.
Easy to pronounce after two bourbons.
That's true. Boydern. All right, reach out to Scory 23, Boydern, and he will hook you up. Boydern, yep, Scory 23. Message him in game, Scory 23. And then I did a YouTube video. I don't know what day was that. It was 12 days ago, is what it says here. And I keep forgetting to sure up that. So I said, if somebody makes it through this long ass video that I made while I was driving to work, that I would.
I did make it through. I don't think I commented though, but I did watch. I know. I watched it all though.
Did I think I commented on that?
You did. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna switch over to the wheel of names. I have everybody's name on here. And we're gonna give this away. And I'm gonna give away a go-kart.
Nice.
So I don't have the cart yet. I'm gonna go buy it and then I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna go find one. Whoever wins it, I'm gonna find one solely based off their name.
All I heard was you giving away a cyborg go-kart.
You shut your fucking mouth.
All right. Robert Smith, are you a pro, are you?
Okay. So I'm gonna spin this once. Based on your name, I'm gonna look for a cart. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna send it to you. Here we go. Oh my God! It could be Mitchell McKinnon. It is Mitchell McKinnon. Congratulations!
Double winner.
Double winner. Thanks for watching my videos. I'm gonna go purchase a cart that means something to me. That based on your name, and then that's what you're gonna get. So it'll be a surprise to us all. Mitchell McKinnon.
Give it away next week on the show.
Yes. Now I don't know anything about Mitchell McKinnon. Not a damn thing. So this will be fun.
Did you miss a name off the?
Was Kiro? This is from an old.
Kiro says he's missing from the wheel.
No, this one is from a YouTube video 12 days ago that I just forgot to do.
So that's different. That's a different draw, Curio, from what we've just done.
Is that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, even I wasn't in that one because I did watch the video, but I didn't comment on his video, so I missed out. So I could have won his cut. That would have been sweet. I would have felt bad though.
I would have found the best cart for you.
You would have found the worst car. You wouldn't even tried. You'd have looked for the cheapest and gone, that's what you're getting.
There's a lot of people that
I would just give you one I already had
and sell them.
Yeah.
Status.
That's got to be a tough market.
Okay.
Nobody wants to buy carts.
Carts, yeah. Well, who knows? If Upland does boom this year, cart sales might go through the roof because it's an entry level into racing.
Yeah, I guess. And if you You know, like people are selling them for as low as what, like $2 or even like 2,000 Upix.
$2 or $3 and 5,000 Upix or something like that. Yeah, I think you can get.
Yeah, pretty
cards, so.
Anybody
Yeah.
can get
And
started.
and if you can start renting them eventually on your racetrack, that could be a thing too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think the renting will be the S1 or the stock cars. I think that's where the main market for renting will come from.
Oh, probably. I'm just saying it's a potential option.
I'd just spend the $2 and get a fucking card.
Or you don't want
Look,
to have.
let me just be my fucking naive half glass full dipshit that I am, please.
Okay.
I'll let you be negative. Let me be naive and positive, and we'll balance each other out beautifully.
Hopefully.
Oh, well, so far so good.
All right. I think that does us. Does it? We're out of here.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's let these
Yeah,
people. stop
cards are
having it.
cool, and I often think I want to start collecting them, and then I'm like, yeah, too much.
MSR money.
Yeah, that
You don't
have
need
to
to
have
have
that baller
money
status.
to spend 2,000 UPX on a cart, man.
We all want Happy's money.
Yeah, we do. Hashtag baller. Don't do that though. Don't do hashtag baller. Anyway, all right, let's get the hell out of here, guys. All
Hashtag
right,
dinks.
thanks for hanging
Yeah.
out. We'll catch you guys next week around the same time.
See you, everyone.
Later.
Peace.